Yeah, I missed our cue, our little dance. Is that a dance? It's a gesture. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Tuesday, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. It's not Monday.
It's not Wednesday.
No, it's not. We don't have a game.
I know.
This is dumb.
2 days off is not good.
No.
One's fine.
Yeah, like I could handle yesterday because there was 2 games in a row, and then you had Monday Night Football, and everyone needs to. We all have to rest. Fans have to rest too, But now it's like, game, please, can I have game? Like a little poor kid back in the Dickens novels. Yes. Like, please, sir, can I have King's game? We had our pre-show meeting. Sometimes I like to hold back on our pre-show meeting. I know that makes Jay mad. Sometimes it doesn't. But there's some things that I like to hit you guys with that I don't want. I don't want prepped because I think spur of the moment works. And in this case, this is a wheelhouse thing. But there's some cool things that are going. There's 2 subjects that are going around on social media and the websites, the Reddits and the everywheres that I actually think are really fun to think about, especially on an off day. Number 1, what is the one thing or a couple of things? We were talking about all the Beamwagon fans, which I think is great. But what is something you would show them that they would have no idea what it was, but every diehard fan would pretty much know what it was? And it was really cool. I'll give you some quick examples, audience, like a power balance bracelet. Mm-hmm. Somebody put it ranged from the obviously funny or what was it? The Maloof hangover cure. I forget what that was, but there was also what was it? Something vodka, Zing vodka. Yeah,
Zing, yeah.
To the serious, like picture Ricky Berry. Every Kings fan, diehard Kings fan knows Ricky, knows Tizzy, So you have the tragic angles that if you know, I guess the whole thing is if you know.
Right.
Somebody put a picture of Jerry Reynolds on the floor after he fainted. So you can go all the way back. And then there's somebody did a screenshot, and it's like exactly where it is. It's just a picture of Shaquille O'Neal on the team bus. And it's when he sang that song about the Kings to the tune of the Cheers theme, which, by the way, will factor into our show later, the show Cheers. So it's really interesting to think about like all the if you know moments over Kings history that a lot of new fans are going to be like, what was that? And I know you probably know 50 of them, 500 of them.
Yeah.
And then the other one was during the last 16 years, because I personally, for me, because I don't go to every game, you do, you work. I've never seen Golden One Center as consistently loud as I saw it in the Pacers game.
Right.
Did you say we're ready, by the way, Jay? Sorry. Yeah. But what was like the loudest, craziest, the most inspiring, whatever moment of the last 16 years? And I always play like King of the Hill with these things in my head. And I think right now for me, number 1 is the Vivek, this is your team and it's here to stay, into Scott Mokes. If you go on YouTube and you watch when he goes, but that particular and now, it still gives me chills. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's just a relocation thing or if that's number 1. But a couple things I want to revisit today.
Yeah.
We have an off day.
That's good.
It's a very fun conversation. In the meantime, let's get right to it. Leading off right now.
Let's do it. It's time for Leading Off. Brought to you by Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, where for over 60 years, their name means a great deal in Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com. Here's cut number 1.
Spins it back out to Murray. Steps to his left, sets the screen. Drives inside, twists, scoots, scores, and he's fouled. What a job that was by Keegan Murray. So Keegan, with a couple of back-to-back threes, now adds a three-point opportunity as he drove around a great screen that was set by Rashawn Holmes.
See a lot of you. By the way, the text line 916-339-1140, Sactown Sports YouTube page. Just go there and get in the chat there. Seeing a lot of these things come in, which is what I was hoping for. And I guess really the proper way to think about it is it's a screenshot. It's a screenshot that you could show thousands of Kings fans and they'll go, oh yeah. And anybody who's not a Kings fan will go, what was that? Like the $6,000 burger.
Right.
You know exactly what that was and what that was all about. The Doug Christie punch, I think a lot of people probably know about that, but
Yeah.
that
You have to have been around.
Exactly. If I showed you a screenshot, Jason, for example, and all it was from the floor where a person's shoes would be, and they're standing, and it was from the basketball floor to the bottom of the basketball shorts, and all you saw was white socks pulled up to the knees. It's Walt Williams.
Yeah, the Wizard.
The Wizard. Everyone knows that. So these are the number 6 statue with cobwebs on it.
Yes.
We all know what that is. Kings leave today on an aeroplane.
Yeah.
I hope not a bus or something. That'd be a long trip to Milwaukee.
Yes, it would.
Big trip.
Yeah, it's good teams in the East, or some good teams in the East, and maybe it's time to change our projections, because in the past, like, hey, could they get a game? Maybe 2. Well, if you think you're good, you want 500 or better. Like when they were a good team back in the day when we're talking about, they would go out on these road trips and go 4-2, 5-1 sometimes. Maybe every once in a blue moon, get all 6. I don't even know if they've ever done that, maybe once or twice. But go compete. Go compete every game, which is what they've done this season.
It's so funny because how long are people like me going to say, and I truly mean this, we're going to find a lot about this team in the next 6 games. But at some point, you know about the team.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a prediction. You ready?
Okay.
If the Kings can split or do better in their first 2, they're making the playoffs.
Okay. In the first 2.
They play Milwaukee tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
And then Cleveland Friday is looking for revenge.
Yeah.
Then you got Madison Square Garden, New York Knicks. That they should be favored in that game. Again, depending on what happens in the first 2. Philly is just not Philly right now. That's a very winnable game unless they get everybody back.
Yeah.
And then Toronto, where they never play well. I mean, I can specifically remember.
And that's back-to-back.
Yes. Like I'm thinking, every time I think of at Toronto, I think of Peja and overtime way back. I mean, that's how far back we go. I'm sure they've probably won since then, but that's a tough place for them to play. And then at Detroit, Marvin Bagley revenge game. Yeah. You give me 3-3 right now, I'm walking away happy. You don't even have to go on the road trip. If we can get all the teams just to agree to go 3-3, like just give us 3-3. I'm good.
I'm good too. I would take that right now.
I think anything 3-3 or better.
Oh, fantastic.
Is yeehaw.
And then you go, at some point when everybody keeps saying to your point, like, well, we'll learn more. There'll be 28 games into the season when that's done. It's not early anymore.
They would be 16-12, and they would be coming home for Charlotte, Lakers, Washington, back-to-back Denver, and Utah.
So a 6-game homestand after the 6-game road trip going into the new year.
And a Laker team that's not what they were. They're better than when we played them. At least they are right now.
Okay.
They're hot. I'm also really
right now.
Yeah, right now.
So you're
right.
Right.
And I know we're talking about after Christmas, but honestly, that one thing that's kind of on the back burner because we haven't faced him yet. I'm really looking forward to Diet Jokic and full flavored Jokic going at it.
Yeah, that's fun.
How fun is Sabonis Jokic going to be?
It's going to be a great match.
It's going to be like a Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I did this. You do that.
You do that. Hey. All right, number 2.
Cut number 2.
If Rodrigo Lopez can put this away, the Republic will move on to the U.S. Open Cup Championship game in Orlando. The Magic Man himself, Roro versus Pulskamp. The crowd draws to a murmur. Roro, the stutter step. Rodrigo Lopez to Orlando. The Kings of California are now the Kings of the West. And the Magic will ride all the way to the Magic Kingdom in Orlando. Sacramento wins. Sacramento wins.
It's Rob McAllister on the call for the Sacramento Republic. And of course, that was right in the middle of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Big year for the Republic. They didn't do what they wanted to do USL-wise. They made the playoffs, but did not advance as they wanted to. And generally, Kevin Nagel and Todd Donovan has shown in the past that they're going to add. They're going to do some things. But one thing that they have done out of the get is they've given their confidence stamp in Coach Mark Briggs.
That's big.
Yeah, he has a multi-year deal to stay on as head coach, which is good. Whether it's Preki, whether it's Paul Buckle, they've had a short handful of coaches throughout the years. Mark Briggs really seems to What I don't know about him technically, because I'm not that smart about soccer, like, well, his this and this and this. What I do know, what I've seen in person, is his interplay with the team.
Yeah.
Is fantastic.
Yeah.
They love him.
We talk about buying in other sports. Seems like they've got that, and they've got a good one, and you got to keep when you've got someone good like that.
We also have Monday Night Football we'll get to. Maybe we'll touch on that a little bit next. In the meantime, we've got round 3 of the playoffs.
Playoffs?
Stingers up.
All the way up.
Sac State, and we've got a trivia question.
We got a couple today.
We've got tickets for you.
Yes.
Hopefully less rainy. That's what the forecast says and more. We also have some Heisman finalists to go over as well. Big segment. We're right back.
Breaking news, the latest happenings with your favorite teams.
You ever wonder about what the heck all these kids are doing on computers all the time?
Stay up to date with all of it by following us on Instagram and Twitter.
Excuse me, gentlemen, a little update for you.
At Sactown 1140.
There's nothing worse than being cold and uncomfortable in your own home. Make sure you and your family are able to enjoy the holidays this winter. At American Energy Heat and Air, they want to make sure your furnace is running safely and efficiently during these cold months for only $49. Take advantage of their 30-point tune-up today. I did. I took advantage of it in the spring, got my air conditioner taken care of. They were out at my house checking everything. It was so cool. They didn't know it was me. I had my wife sign up so they wouldn't know it was me. Wanted to do that test. They were so polite, so nice. Didn't try to sell me on anything. Just took care of my AC, and I was nice and cool all summer. American Energy, proudly servicing the Sacramento community since 1981, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Book your tune-up today for just $49. Call 916-520-9990 or visit them at AmericanEnergyAir.com.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The only local sports show in the morning.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
All right, 1-800-920-1140. Get in right now so you can go see Sacramento State, the Hornets, Herky the Hornet, all that stuff.
Hey, you may be giving away trivia answers.
Uh-oh. Taking on Incarnate Word.
Word.
The
Cardinals.
What even is that a religious thing?
I believe so. I remember when Sac State played him the first time. I want to say it was 2014, 2015, something like that, in a regular season game. I was looking at, game notes and stuff and different things. And at that time, he's no longer there. But their running back coach, I'm like, wait, is that really? It was Ricky Williams.
What?
Yeah, back then. Now he's not there anymore. But
what conference does Incarnate Word play in?
The Southland.
They're in San Antonio. Let's get a little Incarnate Word info for all of you. Research shows that Incarnate Word information is huge.
It's what they want
in our demographic. Yeah. Incarnate Word is in San Antonio. They're the Cardinals, which is funny because they're a Catholic school. That's actually kind of cool. Good for them because what are you going to be? The bishops?
Could have been.
The Cardinals?
Yeah.
Are there any popes? That'd be offensive, right?
Why?
I don't know.
Why not to the bishops?
Why aren't there more? Yeah, great point.
Saints?
Why are
deacons?
Deacons? Why aren't there more popes? Why isn't there? Fred?
We'll get to the bottom of it.
Yes, there's
the Sacramento popes.
The Pope is like the Pope.
And their helmets would be higher.
The big
papal hats.
The big pointy one. That might work on you blocking somebody.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, they are black and red because Cardinals. And there you go. The Incarnate Word, University of the Incarnate Word Cardinals. Where'd you go? Incarnate Word.
Mm-hmm.
What did you even say? Like UIW?
You know who is a big donator to them, as well as the Benson family, who owns the Saints.
Oh, the late
Benson.
Tom and Gail and Gail Benson.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because they're in San Antonio. Yeah, that's all I really have on Incarnate Word. Are the Kings? Are the Hornets favored?
I would say yes. Yes, but here's how it goes. So now they're to the Elite Eight. The last 8 are left. It's the quarterfinals. And the way they did the seeding, 1 through 8, that's who remained. They all played to seeding.
Gotcha.
So one's playing 8, 2's playing 7, 3, 6, 4, 5. The Hornets are 2. Incarnate Word 7. But they're the number 1 offense in the nation, Incarnate Word.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So expect a lot of points. A shootout should be fun.
I hope so. I hope there's less. I hope there's no rain. Don't want any rain, dude.
Either.
That wasn't
Pretty miserable.
All right, 1-800-920-1140. I guess we forgot to open up the phone lines. Phone lines open right now if you were trying to call and get in a busy signal. 1-800-920-1140. Get in right now. Playoff tickets.
Yes.
Super simple Sac State trivia.
Yeah, for a pair of tickets
Yes.
to see the Hornets and Incarnate Word on Friday night.
SSSST. Super simple Sac State trivia.
Yes.
Right?
That's the way we're labeling it.
In the meantime, we have 4 Heisman finalists. Max Dugan of TCU, Ohio State, CJ Stroud, Caleb Williams of USC, and Stetson Bennett. My vote is for Caleb Williams. I don't know why.
Too many QBs. That's USC. Why?
Yeah.
The other 3 are all in the Final Four. I don't know.
It's Caleb Williams because Snoop Dogg did a video on him.
Okay.
And I saw it.
That's good enough.
Yeah, I feel like Snoop Dogg is a huge swing vote.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I still think it's maybe the greatest trophy. Individual trophy.
Man,
like just
Heisman.
trophy and the like I think you carry that with you forever. I don't know. I don't think like MVP in an individual sport is awesome. Or in a sport. Like if you were the NFL MVP, the NBA MVP, I don't know that you get introduced that way. But like I think for your life.
For life.
You're always, hey, former Heisman Trophy winner.
For life.
Forever.
So like what? I'm trying to think of equivalents. And the only thing I can think of, I don't know whether it's as good, better, or worse, but for sure is up there is if you win the green jacket at the Masters. But I don't think that's Heisman level.
Yeah, I don't think you get introduced. I mean, you might, but I don't think you get introduced. The award is really cool.
Yeah.
But the Heisman Trophy, I just feel like of all things, because sometimes you can have a trophy in your house and there's something it signifies, but that one I think almost everybody would know.
Hall of Famer
is great. That's always introduced. That's always the label.
It's always
you're
there.
introduced.
But is there, okay, so in the NFL,
like
you
the Hall of Fame jacket.
Yeah, you have the
NFL
jacket.
Cool.
But then the Hall of Fame jacket, I don't think is as recognizable as the green jacket, but yet you get introduced as Hall of Famer. You may not always get introduced as Masters winner. Like Tiger Woods doesn't get, unless they're reeling off his stats.
Yeah, because he's won so many things.
Right.
But like the Hall of Famers, I like how it's all inscribed and they have their Hall of Fame number in their coat. And I don't know, there's some pretty cool details to that.
Have you guys ever asked the question, why is it the Heisman specifically? Because everything you're saying is correct about you're introduced that way, right? Why is that award the best college football player for a season?
Yeah.
Like, why does that trump an MVP award?
I think it's tradition. I truly just think it's tradition. I think it's tradition, and there's a name on it. There's not really an equivalent in basketball or baseball. I mean, there's an equivalent.
Well, they have
I'm
the John
sure.
Wooden Award in basketball, but yeah, nobody's saying,
it's not the
hey,
Heisman.
there's John Wooden Award winner. Like Frank Mason, I think, won the John Wooden Award, didn't he?
And honest to God, I know this sounds stupid, but hey, I think it's the pose.
Yeah, very recognizable. Others, when Desmond Howard did it,
my God.
now I think others are doing that.
Iconic.
Yeah, and the other part about it, what's weird about it is I think it's so coveted and so put on a pedestal, but we know there's so many Heisman Trophy winners that's it.
That's it.
Like they don't go. It doesn't produce a Hall of Fame NFL career. Some guys don't even make it to the pros or just go nowhere.
Eric Crouch.
Yeah.
Charlie
He was a
Ward.
quarterback from Oklahoma several years ago.
Okay, Eric
White?
White.
Yeah.
Jason White?
Jason White.
Yeah.
Who I don't think ever even played.
Yeah.
No. Tebow won the Heisman, right?
Yes. A lot of people are saying, and I agree with them. So where do you put gold medal?
Ooh.
That's really high.
You're always introduced as gold
Olympic
medalist.
gold medalist.
But every Olympics, there's hundreds of gold medalists.
Yeah.
But you're the best college football player of college football players, right? Gold medalist, you are number one in the world
in that
for
sport.
Over a 4-year period.
Yeah.
Remember that too. It's not yearly. Only it's like the gold medal is like the sports Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
It really is.
And I don't know. I mean, pardon the ignorance, but do people introduce as silver medalist, bronze medal, or is it medalist?
I think bronze and silver medalists get intro.
Olympic medalist, maybe bronze, silver. 19.
Don't you win the gold? Well,
no, I did
bronze, but
not gold medalist. Yeah, they don't do that.
And sometimes it's like fractions of a second. Oh, you were third,
right?
Yeah, by
0.016.
Yeah,
I think it also depends on the sport too. If it's more of a fringe sport, they're going to say this is Olympic bronze medalist from insert fringe sport here.
But here's the thing: like, if Adrian Ross came in I'm just thinking of him.
Yeah.
We wouldn't say, let's say he didn't have an NFL career. We probably wouldn't say like a college football player. But if you make the Olympics, you're a forever Olympian.
Yes.
Olympian Jason Ross. It doesn't
Right.
matter if you came in last. You're an Olympian.
Yeah, you qualified at some level.
So I don't
the
know. I
Olympics.
still think Heisman's better.
Man, the gold medalist.
Well,
though?
the only
You'd
reason
rather
is
have a Heisman Trophy over an Olympic gold medal?
there's one Heisman per year. Now, in that sport, there's one gold medal every 4 years. But again, I'm saying there are literally thousands
Sure.
of people in the world that are walking around with gold medals. There are 100 and something, barely, if that.
Yeah.
Not alive.
Right. So on it, and here's the other way you look at it too, then we'll break. Which sells for more on eBay? Average rando Heisman Trophy or average rando gold medalist? I'm not talking Mark Spitz or OJ Simpson or Reggie Bush or whatever. I don't know why
Yeah.
did I pick them.
I think the answer to me would be, if I was given a choice and I had the money to throw away, I would buy a Heisman Trophy.
Same. Scarcity, right? Right?
Put it on my hood of the car.
Didn't OJ Simpson or was it Reggie? Somebody, one of those USC guys said they use it as a doorstop. I swear to God. Somebody said their Heisman was a doorstop.
One of those SC guys.
We'll take a break. When we come back, listen, we
Does
started.
Reggie's have his to use as a doorstop?
Did he get it back? Did Reggie get his Heisman
I
back?
think so.
Stella got her groove back.
Yeah.
Did Reggie get his Heisman
He
back?
did.
We started this yesterday. Let's continue it. So far throughout this season, 21 games into the season, I think, 21, 22. Let's look at the top 5 based on value for your Sacramento Kings. Who is the most valuable King so far, most indispensable King so far, and work our way down. This is an interesting mental exercise. We'll get in next.
Hey, Kings fans, you got questions? We got answers. Send all your Kings questions to kingsmailbag@sactownsports.com and have them answered by the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and Cattles and Rami during our Kings Mailbag segment every Friday on Sactown Sports' YouTube channel.
Subscribe today by searching Sactown Sports on YouTube.
The only place to get wall-to-wall Kings coverage in the 916, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Your 2022 Big Sky champion Sacramento State Hornets are moving on in the NCAA FCS playoffs. The Hornets will host a third-round playoff game against Incarnate Word on Friday, December 9th at 7:30. Tickets start at just $10 and are available at hornetsports.com. Hornet Nation, we need you to pack Hornet Stadium and cheer on your hometown Hornets in their quest for a national championship. Get your tickets now. Go Hornets and Stingers up.
Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, is also Northern California's #1 Honda certified pre-owned vehicle dealer.
Come see our amazing selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. We have something for everyone. Don't shop dealer to dealer trying to find the perfect used car. Stockton Honda has the selection, financing, and savings you want. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2021 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
Carmichael Dave here, letting you know when the housing market shifts quickly like it has the last few months, having the right mortgage company on your side is crucial in this ever-changing market. We've got just that lender. It's my guy Shelby at United Wholesale Lending. And you can check them out at refinancewithshelby.com. They're fast, they're local, and competitive. Shelby's team, as I've told you for years, is well known in the real estate market from real estate agents, title companies, appraisal companies. United Wholesale Lending will even get your offer fully underwritten and approved up front so you can compete with the cash offers. With the increase in inventory, the market has shifted from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Buyers now have the opportunity to shop for the home that's right for them instead of settling for what was available. You can always refi as soon as rates come down, or United Wholesale Lending has alternative loan options like a 2-1 buy down. RefinanceWithShelby.com. That's RefinanceWithShelby.com. NMLS number 279051. BRA number 01864354.
Your local utilities are offering up to $11,000 in rebates to make energy-saving home improvements. Turn to the experts at Clark & Rush & Carrier, your rebate specialists.
License 608005.
These home electrification upgrades will lower your energy bills and put rebate cash in your pocket. We'll even do the paperwork. You enjoy the rebates.
Smart energy savings is what we do. Clark and Rush.
Call 916-609-2681.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Selecting the right tees to play is not always as simple as it sounds. Golf magazine's Zephyr Milton reports that selecting which tees to play can be a dubious task. He says some people feel pressured to play longer tees in an attempt to boost their ego. Some can't get over the stigma of playing forward tees even if they have no business teeing it back. And some others just don't have enough information to make an informed decision on which tees suit their games. Enter Athletic Motion Golf, a golf fitness social media account. They came up with a solution to solve all the problems. The process involves a bit of math, but as Melton suggests, even someone like me can understand it. Take the distance you hit your 5-iron, and this isn't your absolute best under perfect conditions distance, but what you might average. Now multiply that by 36. So if you hit your 5-iron 160 yards, times 36, look at playing a course around 5,800 yards. This guide is a starting point. Some of you hit your 5-iron much farther and some less, but find a happy medium, and you'll probably find you're a happier player as well. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Life doesn't stop when the economy is uncertain. The market might not care you have a wedding to plan or a kid to put through school. And inflation doesn't know you've got a family to feed. But Bank of America does, and is here to help. With digital tools to help you save and local experts in Central New York, you can keep life moving forward the way you need it to. Bank of America, what would you like the power to do? Learn more at BofA.com/Central New York. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC, equal credit opportunity lender.
The new Fords have arrived at Folsom Lake Ford. I know you've been waiting for a new F-150 or maybe an Explorer or Expedition. Guess what? Folsom Lake Ford has them. Your truck headquarters for over 30 years right here in Sacramento is all stocked up with new Fords and used vehicles. Save with low interest financing on your favorite new models and zero down deals available on all new and used vehicles with approved credit. Get top dollar for your trade, making your monthly payment on your new Ford even lower. Folsom Lake Ford is the only dealership I recommend to my friends. A Triple Crown Award winner for sales, service, and finance. Highway 50 Folsom Exit, or browse fresh inventory online at folsomlakeford.com. It's updated almost daily. And if you can't find what you're looking for, give them a call. Tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford.
Sactown Sports Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports Headlines, I'm Jay Mars. With the Bucs trailing 16-3 with 5:21 left to go, 45-year-old Tom Brady decided to go to work, throwing 2 touchdown passes to defeat the Saints 17-16. In the process, he surpassed Peyton Manning for the most career fourth-quarter comebacks in NFL history with 44. The Bucs moved to 6-6 and maintain control in the NFC South. The NL champion Philadelphia Phillies are reloading, signing all-star shortstop Trey Turner to an 11-year, $300 million deal. The Phillies weren't the only NL East team to make a big splash, as Cy Young winner Justin Verlander agreed to a 2-year, $86.6 million deal with the New York Mets. Verlander's deal includes a vesting third-year option, according to ESPN. The option for 2025 is for $35 million, a source told the Associated Press. The 9-time All-Star turns 40 in February. Coming up today, Sacramento Kings play-by-play voice Mark Jones joins the show at 8, and former NFL quarterback Sean Salisbury joins us at 8:13 from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
You know they've been here for a combined 50 years. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back. Want to remind ye, we got a couple of characters coming on the show later today.
Characters?
8 o'clock. Mark Jones.
Mark Jones.
Kings play-by-play voice. I had a nice chance to catch up with Mark at that Pacers game.
Yeah.
And just really kind of, because he's a national guy, but now a local guy as well with the Kings here. You can tell he's a fan. I mean, It's just really fun to watch what this team is doing, and anyone covering the team, whether it's you, Mark, me, whoever, enjoys it more, just like fans do. Sean Salisbury is going to join us at 8:13 right after Mark. We'll go back to back with Mark. We're going to break down this road trip, and we might ask him the question we're going to get into right now, which is most valuable Kings. So, Jason, you want to go 5-1 or 1-5?
Well, I'm gonna guess that we have 1 and 2 the same, but
Yes.
That's my guess. So we normally you kind of lead up to number 1, and it started yesterday talking about the value of Sabonis, right?
Yeah, and I think we should be clear about this too. This is not who's a better player.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know.
It could be. It could be taken that way.
Here's how I'm looking at it. Honestly, it's like MVP races. I try to break it down to a question. In my mind, it's a combination of who has helped the Kings reach this level of success the most, and almost equal, if not more footing, if this person were to be lost for any reason, for any amount of time, who would affect that success the most.
Yeah.
So I have Sabonis number 1 and Fox 2.
Yep.
Which is not and a huge, probably the majority of that reason. You could make a great argument that Fox has had a better year than Sabonis, despite the last week or so where he's been banged up. But I think that if we were to miss Fox for a certain amount of time, that's just simply the depth behind him of Monk, of Herter, of Davion Mitchell, of Terrence Davis.
Yeah.
And there's no real depth behind Domas.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I would put it too. And I think the gap between Fox and Sabonis is really close. To number 3 is significant. So if they were to lose Fox or Sabonis, the team would be in trouble.
Yes.
For me, players 3, 4, and 5, that's more of the debate. But yeah, I would put Sabonis 1 as far as the one that's the most indispensable, just based on the way they run everything, how he's being used, and how he's playing. With Fox a close second, but third is where it gets interesting for me.
Also, another caveat on this too. Yes, you can 100% make arguments for both Mike Brown and Monty McNair if you want to take a philosophy. We're just talking about players, so that's a different.
Okay.
Why did you have? I'm sorry.
I have an asterisk. I'll go to my number 5 then.
Okay.
Because my number 5 is Kevin Herter / Mike Brown. Because I wanted to put Mike Brown in there. Are there other coaches?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I think they would be under his umbrella, his philosophy. If Mike Brown, I don't know, missed a week because he was out with illness. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. But I think he's really important to this team's success. But keeping it players, I put Kevin Herter, number 5. I like his size. I know he's not shooting well right now. I think he rounds out that front group, that backcourt so well. Feels like a steal of a trade. It's just he's a really good fit for this team.
All right, so this is where I struck the 4 and 5. To me, the top three were the easiest for me.
Okay,
it's the bottom 2. It's between 3 guys: Herter, Barnes. It's got to be Herter or Barnes, because I can't put Terrence Davis and I can't put Davion Mitchell. Well, God damn it. It's so hard. I'm going to put Herter 4. I'm going to put Herter 4. You know what? I'm going to put Harrison Barnes 5. Because with Barnes, we know how much he means to this team as a calming veteran presence. I can't make a great argument stats-wise for Harrison Barnes.
Yep.
But it's the intangibles he brings. It's the opportunistic scoring, rebounding. He seems to be in the right place at the right time more often than not. Shouts to Davion Mitchell for the ability to bring him in and instantly pipe that defense up. Shouts to Terrence Davis for the stretches he's had, but there's just not enough. But again, I wouldn't say no to an argument for any of them. I would say Herter 5. No, I would say Barnes 5, Herter 4.
And then you have Monk 3?
I have Monk 3.
Interesting. Okay.
I have Monk 3.
So I have Monk 4.
Okay.
And I actually put Barnes 3. And my struggle with that is it's not the stats, though there's games where Harrison Barnes is very good statistically.
Yes.
It's the first part that you said, that calming force, the professionalism. He's so reliable. He's there every game. And some games it's, hey, go guard Kevin Durant. Good luck, but go guard Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
go guard this guy. Go guard. I mean, he's just incredibly reliable. And the gap again between Fox and it's significant.
Yep.
But I think if he missed 2 weeks, I think more and more people would realize the value of him to this team. Where if Monk, I have Monk 4th, but Terrence Davis, Davion, they're not doing the exact same thing that he's doing, because Monk has been incredible. I just think the consistency of Barnes night in and night out. I put him at 3rd, but that's just my reasoning.
If we were allowing for non-players and we just took Brown and Monty as an entity, I think I put him 3.
Those two together.
What Mike Brown has done for this culture.
Yeah.
We talk culture for years. Mike Brown has reset the culture.
Yeah. And it's not as simple. Like when people say, well, you're just saying because they're winning, partly. But number two, I'm going to go back to the first time the Kings as a team felt slighted in the Miami game.
Yep.
The first thing Mike Brown says in that press conference, that was a travel.
Yeah.
Is it because the name on our, like, he's defending this team, this community, saying, this is an acceptable league. That was clearly a travel. And I remember seeing it the first time live. I'm like, I'm not so certain it is. And you see the replay. I'm like, oh, I think he saw that live.
Yeah.
And then you see the replay. I think they're going to show up in the last 2-minute report. And then it did show up in the last 2-minute report. Happens again. And he goes out again. I'm thinking, you've barely been here 10 games and you're going to this twice. It's a perfect thing to do.
It was perfect. And I obviously I wish they just started 4-0 instead of 0-4.
Right.
But part of my confidence in Mike Brown is the fact that they did start 0-4. You are a new coach. You're trying to reset culture. You're trying to instill new things, and you start 0-4, and he was able to not just keep that team together, but we talked about it after that Miami haul. He seems to be very good at utilizing what we've talked about before as one of the most important forces you can have in a locker room, and that's an us against the world mentality. Nobody respects us. We're not getting any calls.
Yeah.
Nothing's going our way. It's us against the world. We got to do it for ourselves. We can't leave it in the judge's hands. We got to blow these teams out. Mike Brown and the little things, the challenges, the timeouts. Yes. The early timeouts, the challenges protecting Sabonis.
Yeah.
The Terrence Davis coaching on the floor against the Suns with the DeAndre Ayton play, like these little tiny things that they yell in media day, showing that he doesn't take himself too seriously, running the lines, saying, turn the Jets on.
But yet there's also like you'll get post-game reaction when the Kings, I think it was the Nets game where they won by 1,000 basically. And they're like, yeah, coach is still going in like the last 2 minutes. Like, I don't even think he appreciates the win. Like he's constantly on him. And this is not a guy getting 10 technicals a game. He's got a way of pushing, hugging, pulling, cheering, supporting, yelling. Like he's got a really good way about him that's working for this team.
And also not letting them get complacent or reading their own press either. We'll take a break. The Raiders say goodbye to prime time. The Commanders and Giants pop in with flexing in and out in the NFL. Oh, and by the way, because I see this brought up, I meant to bring this up today. There is a new place of worship downtown. Why am I bringing that up on a sports show? Trust me, we'll tell you next.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sactown Sports.
Fox comes up the floor, 2 seconds. Here's a 35-footer for the win. He's got the bucket.
Hey, Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Buying a new Acura is an easy decision, and Acura of Stockton makes buying easy. Come and see us today or shop online. If we don't have it, you can pre-select your favorite Acura and pick it up when it arrives. No contracts or deposits required. It's that easy. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade whether you buy from us or not. Don't settle for less than the quality of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or online at AcuraofStockton.com.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life and your choices with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age, but there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Do you take pride in your holiday gift purchases? Or are you someone who just wants to get the whole gift buying ordeal over with? Hi, Doug Christie here, and I'm both. I do like giving great gifts, but I don't have tons of time to do so. So if you're like me, listen closely. Plus, I'll even save you 20% during the holiday season. I'm talking about Good Feet Arch Supports. Surprise? You shouldn't be. At last count, roughly 80% of all adults suffer or will suffer from foot-related pain issues. These tend to be active people and people working on their feet, anywhere from 35 to 64. Sound like anyone on your gift list? And during the holidays, when you buy a Good Feet Arch Support gift certificate, the Good Feet store will add 20% to its value. That's a 20% bonus free. And remember, Good Feet Arch Supports come with a lifetime warranty. So you're giving a lifetime of unmatched comfort, balance, and support. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, and Modesto. Online, goodfeet.com.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Campbell here, serial entrepreneur. Here's what our payroll customer, Laura, thinks about us.
Patriot Software and their amazing team are a crucial part of our business. They handle the details of payroll and tax payments, so we can focus on delivering exceptional customer service to our own clients. Patriot's payroll is affordable, easy to use, and it keeps us organized. They're receptive to their customers and strive to demonstrate that each day. Without a doubt, we will be using their payroll services for many years to come. Thank you, Patriot Software. 5 stars.
Go to PatriotSoftware.com to get your payroll pricing for up to 100 employees. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll processing free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Did you hear? Santa's coming back to Sacramento for the 39th annual Santa Parade happening in downtown Saturday, December 10th. The fun starts at 10 a.m. with car clubs, pageant winners, clowns, floats, marching bands, and of course, Sacramento welcomes Santa Claus to town. Grab the family for a fun-filled tradition. Thanks to Western Health Advantage, Shriners Children's Northern California, Attic Man Heating and Air, California Army National Guard, and Huff Home Services. Get more info at SactownSports.com.
Stimulating conversation about kitchen gadgets and baseball cards.
I think that's really crazy interesting.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
We'll check out the night in the NBA coming up at the top of the hour. 3 for Madness at 7:13, including some big returns. And are the Pacers better without Tyrese Halliburton? Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe you just plug and play.
Yeah, just plug and play.
Nembhard came in there and had Tyrese numbers.
This is I got to credit. I think I first saw this on my favorite Kings website, Reddit.
You become a Reddit guy.
I love reading Reddit because they're just a bunch of psychos.
Is that the most absurd place?
It's just not close. Like there's a couple of Facebook groups that kind of, and everyone has their set of characters.
Sure.
But with Reddit, Kings Reddit, I get everything. I get the best memes.
Yeah.
I get some really good links. Generally, they link out to great analysis. You know, anytime there's a national media member. Which, by the way, does anybody know this? Somebody said at dinner last night. I was at dinner with some friends. Somebody said that there was a female ESPN personality at some point in the last couple of days that was making fun of the Beam. And somebody thought that it was Ramona Shelburne, which I thought would be weird. And then I texted Ramona, and she said that wasn't her. So it's not Ramona.
I did not see this.
I just wonder if that rings a bell for anyone because we were really trying to figure out who that was. Anyways, we'll get to the NFL here in a second. You get the memes. You get the analysis. You get and then you just have the crazy off-the-wall, sick, twisted, weird, whatever.
Is this a good line from MC? Reddit is a rabbit hole inside of a rabbit hole.
It really is.
Okay.
It really is. Like you need to suit up, put on your hazmat suit, walk in there. You're going to be entered. It's like walking into a roller coaster inside a haunted house while watching a great movie. You're going to be scared. You're going to laugh. You're going to cry. You're going to leave a little bit dirty and regretful, but also fulfilled.
Yeah, and maybe vomit.
So this is where I found what I found on Reddit. If you go to Google Maps and you look downtown, there is a new place of worship. It is right next to Golden One Center. It's the Beam. It's officially on Google as a place of worship, which
every home game,
technically, right? It is every home game and every road win.
Yeah,
there's the Beam. By the way, the Kings. I don't know if we're ready for this yet. Wouldn't say no to a couple of viewing parties in Doco for road games.
Wow, already?
Where you could have a live lighting. I'm sure they'll do that in the playoffs if we make it.
Yeah.
I think we get a little bit of it. It'd be a chance for him to make a little cash.
I know it's the medium and the way the world works. Could we ever have a radio listen?
How would you do that?
Party? Where you go and sit there and listen to the radio.
I think so.
Back in the day, hey, gather around
the radio. Gather around the fireside.
I don't know why we're talking like this.
I don't. Well, that's how they did it back in the day. See? Yeah. I mean, again, not to get too old man here, but you and I both remember when you couldn't get the games on TV on the road sometimes.
About 30 games a year were shown.
It was all.
Yeah,
maybe we should have a radio listen party.
Yeah.
At your house.
Okay.
Where you will not be seeing the Raiders and Patriots on national TV. They get moved out of prime time. The league moves the Commanders and the Giants.
The game that just tied, we're going to see again later.
Yeah, but this time it's for real.
Well, the Patriots and Raiders are both kind of fighting for playoff spots.
So you got Boston, Vegas, DC, New York. Yeah, kind of. I would say the Commanders and Giants are fighting more.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. That's go
ahead and flex away, NFL.
Aren't the Raiders of those 4 teams the most entertaining though?
I think so.
They have fun games.
I agree with you there. I'm not incredibly. I respect the job Ron Rivera is doing in Washington, but I think that's an incredibly boring team. I respect the job they're doing in New York with the Giants. Outside of Saquon Barkley and a couple other things.
Wow, shade at Daniel Jones.
Just saying, Daniel Jones does not make me go, oh my God.
Yeah. He went to Duke.
Are the Patriots the least entertaining of the 4?
Patriots are just boring to me.
100%.
The Patriots are like 2 steps up from the Broncos. and
the Broncos are way down there.
The Broncos are like jury duty. You have to be there. Sometimes they're all that's on, and you have to
go to the Bronco game. Nope, I'm going to jury duty. I chose jury duty.
Oh my goodness gracious! We got to watch football on the way back from
Broncos
LA.
are the DMV of the NFL.
They really are. They really are. Oh, Russell Wilson has corrective lenses.
That's right.
The Broncos are stupid.
The
NFL announces it's 3 Week 15 Saturday games for the big triple header. Remember,
I like that.
I hate it.
You don't like Saturday games?
Hate it.
Why?
Hate it.
It's football. What's wrong? There's no college football then.
You know me. You should know
routine.
Why.
You can't.
Saturday football.
Means near the end.
One of the first harbingers of the end. It's like when you're getting toward, like when you see the mileage on a freeway and you're getting closer to your destination. Yeah. If the destination is boring off-season stuff, Saturday NFL football is like it's like when you are driving from LA and you get to Stockton.
Okay.
And you're like, okay, I'm still a ways away.
Yeah.
But I'm getting really close. I'm getting excited now.
I forgot to tell you this yesterday. I literally muttered this phrase on the weekend because this all kind of ties together about the harbinger at the end. I know you like this time of year because of the weather.
Love it.
Walking in the pouring rain from the parking lot to the stadium, just getting drenched. And I'm going, and Carmichael Dave likes this. I'm just muttering that, and I go, but I also go, is this the extreme where, like, when I say I like the heat, I don't like 116.
No.
Now, and it was pouring all day. I don't know if you enjoyed that.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't enjoy the pouring rain, though I would rather have pouring rain than 116.
Okay.
But what I do enjoy is no rain, overcast.
Football, basketball,
yes,
all these
everything going on. Holidays, like we are in my favorite time. This is
this is your sweet spot,
the nucleus, the sweet spot. Right here is my favorite thing. Saturday triple header. Colts at Vikings. Ravens at Browns. Dolphins at Bills. That's a great game.
Good
That's a great
nightcap.
game.
Good nightcap.
Although
the other 2 are trash.
The other 2 are trash. And that's, listen, I could kind of see, assuming he's healthy, and well, you never know by then, both are healthy. Okay, you could maybe sell me on. That'd be kind of fun to watch Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson go at it.
Yeah, I think that one has potential. What's weird is the Vikings are, the record-wise, they're good. They don't do a lot for me.
Not a big fan of Kirk.
You like that?
I feel like the Vikings are kind of like the vanilla ice cream of football. Like, I don't have any issues with it.
Yeah, but it needs sprinkles. It needs chocolate chips.
Like, it tastes good.
But it wasn't your first pick.
No.
It was all that was left.
Yes.
Like, I want ice cream.
It's
fine.
It's there.
And you don't have anything to put on it.
No.
And so you're just going, well.
You're just licking a vanilla ice cream. Like, I've had this a billion times. I've seen it.
It's not a shake.
No,
It's
you
just
know they're not winning the Super Bowl. You know they're not. They're going to get in the playoffs and just crap
Fizzle.
the bed. Yeah, I mean, it's just Dolphins Bills will be interesting. Here's what's unfortunate about that. Poor Dolphins, man. Like you go from playing your home games in Miami, you're playing a Saturday December game in Buffalo.
Yeah, and if it's the nightcap, I'm sure it's late, cold.
That's the thing.
And all the Bills fans will be eating that up.
And there's going to be like one Dolphins offensive lineman in short sleeves.
Yeah.
Which I never understood. Like, okay, dude, you're tough.
And all of the one section without a shirt on.
Oh, yeah. All of them just lubed up.
Throwing toys on the field.
Yeah.
Jumping through tables.
Throwing season's greetings in the end zone. Yeah, you have the shirts off guys getting hypothermia with Buffalo on their chest, but there's only one F.
Yeah.
Because, hey, Buffalo.
Or it's PH.
B-U-P-H-A-L. Buffalo. Take a break. Let's check in on the NBA last night. Some big returns and one big absence. An old friend didn't matter for the Indiana Pacers. We'll talk about that deal.
You want the inside scoop on the Sacramento Kings?
Candles and Rami are giving it to you.
Tune in every Thursday at 4 p.m. for an exclusive interview with a member of the Kings coaching staff.
You know, when you're talking about Foxy, we're going to utilize his speed. We're going to make sure the floor is spaced so he can get to the paint.
Keegan has a potential, and we have no doubt in our minds that he'll be a huge part of our winning in the future.
From your local sports leader.
Sactown Sports.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. We make buying a new Honda easy and stress-free. Pre-order online or in person today. We'll be there to help you every step of the way. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Nick Cattle saying, start your holidays right with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers from California Backyard. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill, it's turned me into a pro. Think outside the kitchen this year and cook your whole holiday meal on Napoleon Gas Grill. Napoleon, they are the grills built to last, all made with premium steel that boasts quality. Check out Napoleon Grills today at any of the 4 nearby California Backyard locations. Always the best in backyard living. California Backyards. Check them out at Napoleon.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. And the primetime football giveaway, it's back. They're giving away a total of $500 for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento, with plenty of well-lit parking and some of the best food in a friendly environment. For more information on tournaments and gaming, please log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. As always, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopy.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, curbside pickup, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Your 2022 Big Sky champions, Sacramento State Hornets, are moving on in the NCAA FCS playoffs. The Hornets will host a third-round playoff game against Incarnate Word on Friday, December 9th at 7:30. Tickets start at just $10 and are available at hornetsports.com. Hornet Nation, we need you to pack Hornet Stadium and cheer on your hometown Hornets in their quest for a national championship. Get your tickets now. Go Hornets and Stingers up.
It's hard to find a better selection of 4x4s in stock and ready to drive home today than you'll find at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. New truck prices keep rising. M&S invites you to tour their selection of super clean 4x4s and trucks and save thousands. Tacomas, F-150s, Jeeps, Rams, Silverados. Great deals today on hundreds of 4x4s, SUVs, and muscle cars. First-time buyers are welcome. M&S Auto Sales, El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
Life doesn't stop when the economy is uncertain. The market might not care you have a wedding to plan or a kid to put through school. And inflation doesn't know you've got a family to feed. But Bank of America does, and is here to help. With digital tools to help you save and local experts in Central New York, you can keep life moving forward the way you need it to. Bank of America, what would you like the power to do? Learn more at BofA.com/Central New York. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC, equal credit opportunity lender.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Servicing your vehicle has never been so easy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Schedule your next service appointment anytime, anywhere at StocktonHonda.com. It only takes a minute to schedule, and our award-winning service team will have you back on the road in no time. Oil changes, tires, parts, and more.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
It's Sactown Sports 1140. Sactown Sports
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. With the Bucs trailing 16-3 with 5:21 left in the fourth quarter, 45-year-old Tom Brady went to work, throwing 2 touchdown passes to defeat the Saints 17-16, surpassing Peyton Manning in the process for the most career fourth quarter comebacks in NFL history with 44. The Bucs moved to 6-6 and maintain control in the NFC South. The NL champion Philadelphia Phillies are reloading, signing all-star shortstop Trey Turner to an 11-year, $300 million deal. The Phillies weren't the only NL East team to make a big splash, as Cy Young winner Justin Verlander agreed to a 2-year, $86.6 million deal with the New York Mets. Verlander's deal includes a vesting third-year option, according to ESPN. The option for 2025 is set for $35 million, a source told the Associated Press. The nine-time All-Star turns 40 in February. Coming up today, Sacramento Kings play-by-play voice Mark Jones joins the show at 8 a.m. And former NFL quarterback Sean Salisbury joins us at 8:13 from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports 1140.
All right, 3 for Madness coming up in 13 minutes. We got some big baseball signings and a big passing. It seems like we say this once every 2 weeks. But
don't like that.
Big passing in the world of entertainment. I'm going to utilize the audience here for a second. Please allow me to, as we get into last night in the NBA. You showed me a trailer during the break for a movie called Wanderlust with Paul Rudd and Jennifer Aniston. And I'm ashamed to say I've never heard of this movie.
Yeah, and I've heard of it, but I've not seen it.
It's like 10, 12 years old.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there, I watched the trailer during the break, and I am excited to see this movie.
So we need a yay or nay, whether it's worth seeing.
The guy who directed Role Models, which I think is maybe the most underrated comedy of our time.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about it, but I'm also wary because I haven't heard of it, and I love those actors too. That
it might be an all preview thing.
Is every funny part is every funny part in the preview. What was that movie with what's his face where they were doing the reads, the voiceovers over the nature shows, and the shark had the big teeth, and he was like, oh,
yeah.
And we loved that preview, and then the movie sucked for the most part. I can't. Someone will get it on the text line 916-339-1140 1-800-920-1140. You can also Sactown Sports, YouTube, watch us, chat, do all that stuff. Last night in the NBA, Kawhi Leonard's been hurt lately. The Clippers, who we just saw last weekend, they were in a little bit of trouble. They needed a rebound. They needed a score. They got a claw.
Left, outside more. So right wing three is up. Missed it long. Rebound poked by George. Leonard inside, and the board man got paid. Leonard lays it in to tie the game.
Okay. Good job, Kawhi. You tied the game. Got to win the game, though, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to do that, is he? Oh,
Get it to Leonard, short corner, far side. 5 seconds left. Leonard facing up. 3 seconds left. Step back, 18-footer. Oh! Kawhi Leonard. He delivers. What a welcome back. And a superstar has come out to play once again. The claw has just ripped out the hearts of the Hornets.
I'm ashamed to know. Why don't I know that play-by-play voice?
You don't know that voice?
Well, I do know the voice.
You
do
know the voice.
Why am I not?
It's the son of a famous voice.
Oh, is that Eagle?
That's Noah Eagle.
Noah Eagle. Thank you. Fantastic job,
Yes.
Noah. He's a big time rising star.
Very
comes from
very
good stock.
Yes, he does.
So Kawhi Leonard. I'm trying to think. I can't remember any other game-winning shots in his career.
Might have been his first.
Might have been his first. Yeah.
Might have a future in this league if he can stay healthy.
The NBA is better with Kawhi Leonard in it.
It is.
Unfortunately, Kawhi Leonard's never hit lately. But are we at the point where? Are we nearing the point, or are we at the point where Kawhi Leonard is going to be one of those barroom sports conversations where it's like, man, he was great. Kawhi's a Hall of Famer, right? Right now. But is he at the point or nearing the point even where we go, if only injuries hadn't cut him down, who knows what he would have done?
Yeah, maybe partly him, but I feel like more Clippers as a team because the investment they made in him and Paul George made a ton of sense. And they've continued to add to this roster, but at some point they've got to break through. And it's got to be difficult. I say being a Clippers fan, they've been successful. They had years of failure, years of it.
Yes.
But they've been a good team for the last couple of years. And, is Kawhi going to be there when it matters? Is Paul George going to be there when it matters? That's got to be difficult as a fan base for the Clippers, not knowing, because when they're fully healthy, I think it's a really good team, a team that could win it all.
When they are fully healthy, they've got John Wall, Reggie Jackson, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris / Nicholas Batum, Zubac, Covington. That's a championship contending team.
Yes.
It's
so switchable everywhere. Good depth, good versatility, shooting, size.
I even mentioned Luke Kennard.
Yeah.
Brandon Boston Jr., formerly BJ Boston when he was in college, is another one of those under the radar Scalabiciere types, super huge, heavy recruit. College career, but sometimes Calipari's system hides those folks, and he seems to be figuring it out as well. Okay. James Harden returned. That was quite interesting. Playing against his former team, the Rockets. Joel Embiid in there as well. Harden scores.
5 on the clock. James beyond the arc. Step back 3. Up and good. An improbable fall away 3 for Harden.
So you've got both Embiid back. And James Harden back. It still goes to double overtime. And Jabari Smith Jr., let's remember, was the presumptive number 1 pick in the draft until draft day, until hours. You and I were out there looking at our phones when all of a sudden Woj was like, rumors now, Paulo Banchero. And Smith slipped to number 3, which you would have won a lot of money off of if you'd have known that. But don't look now because he's had a tough start. He's starting to come along. You see some of those numbers over his past handful of games. Looks like that, like any rookie, he's starting to figure it out, including this catch and shoot 3.
Left side, Jabari for a huge 3. Up and in.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was drunk.
Up and in.
The Rockets get a home win over the 76ers in double OT. What's interesting about that, They won by 9. Is that right? They won by 9 in double OT?
And that's another one of those situations like, oh, good. Harden's finally back, missed 14 games. Sometimes it takes a little while. That loss puts Philly back to 500.
So, of course, they're going to have it all figured out within the next few games when they come home and take on the Sacramento Kings. And then finally, you had in San Francisco, you had the Golden State Warriors taking on the Indiana Pacers, which is quite interesting. And, of course, you remember the Pacers were here. They got run off the floor by Sacramento. And last night, again, the Warriors, 2 games above 500 going in, just starting to figure it out, come back, do their thing. And by the way, no Tyrese Halliburton.
Right. Second straight game he's missed.
Andrew Nembhard with 31 points and 13 rebounds. 31 points and 13 rebounds. I want to remind
13 assists. Yeah.
Or 13 assists.
Rebounds,
I'm sorry. 8 rebounds. I want to remind you, he's a 6'3" point guard.
Yeah. Who was a second-round pick. And this is one of the things I was saying last week when the big return for Tyrese was a lot of the measurements on, well, look, the Pacers won this trade because whatever. They have a lot of good guards.
Yes, they do.
And I do believe they're going to build around Tyrese Halliburton. But when you start to evaluate everything, at some point you could also go, don't you think they're going to lose Miles Turner in a trade this year or in the future? He'll probably be gone, and they'll need another big somewhere. Well, when you've got Nembhard now, who's very good, Mathurin may end up being their best guard at some point. Chris Duarte, they got a lot of good buddies still. You just wonder who they'll end up choosing to build around, because at one point, like, well, we're building around Malcolm Brogdon. He's not there anymore. I mean, the NBA is fluid. It changes a lot. It's a plan until it changes. But it just shows you they got more talent there in that backcourt than they thought they had.
A little bit of following the not that the Kings invented it, Monty McNair invented it, but the Kings MO where, okay, so you have a guy like Nembhard who's showing up now. He had that huge game winner against the Lakers, 31 points last night in the absence of Tyrese Halliburton. And obviously, let's get the sample size a little bit bigger. But maybe the same deal that the Kings are, which is draft best player available and moving around.
Yeah.
Maybe someday in Indiana, they're going to have arguments on PacersTalk.com about should they have kept Tyrese Halliburton or Andrew Nembhard.
Right.
And that's just how it works.
Yep.
The Pacers have a very interesting team. They're 2 games above 500 despite the loss. Ben Mathurin was your guy. He was your guy in the draft. I will not ever forget that. And he is having a fantastic year. And it's very interesting how they're utilizing him off the bench. They're not starting him. And this is on a team. This is not on a team that's 21-7.
Right.
This is a team in the Pacers that were expected to compete for the Wembanyama sweepstakes.
Yeah.
And they were for a championship.
Yeah, and they came out west and really were kind of struggling. Had the miracle come back against the Lakers and the buzzer beater by Nembhard. And then this game where I thought might be a one more loss before they come home. Instead, they get a nice win against the Warriors to get them to 13-11.
13-11. And you have young guys like Jalen Smith, Nembhard, Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, of course. But you also have a guy like Miles Turner who is just, I don't know what's happening with him. You got to think he's going at some point. But what are they going to do there? Buddy Hield and his contract as well. I mean, shockingly, I think they if they had their way, they'd get off of Buddy Hield and that contract and move that around. So they have pieces that they can send. But if I'm the Pacers, I don't want any part of that Lakers deal. I don't want any part of Westbrook.
Well, and that's the thing. We just talked about all these guards that they have. And Westbrook, can he play on that team? Yeah, but it just becomes you're taking on the Lakers mess for what? To give away 2 players? Right now, you're in the mix.
Yes.
Surprisingly, but you're in the mix. And I don't know which road they'll take. I think you go with it as long as possible. And then you see like, okay, it's starting to flounder. Then maybe we make some adjustments. But right now, 2 games above 500 is put them in a good spot.
Anybody who's in charge of a team understands that you go down a road. Okay, well, maybe there's a roadblock or a speed bump there, and you're always looking for the path to least resistance. You're going to come up on some challenges, and you have to find some sort of a strategy to get beyond those challenges, like rates right now in the mortgage world. That's what my guy Shelby does at United Wholesale Lending. You've got 2-1 buy down issues there that he can help you out with. He can approve you, his team can approve you on the phone in under 15 minutes without even running your credit. I don't do this that often. I got to be honest. That was a hell of a transition. That really, did you see it coming? Honestly, I feel
that one I was tricked.
Yeah, I thought it's when I can trick you.
Yeah,
because you see every single one.
I didn't like it.
Not a very good transition. I don't like that transition. Not a very good transition. Housing market shifting so quickly. You gotta have the right mortgage company on your side. It's crucial in this ever-changing market. We have just that lender for you. It's Shelby United Wholesale Lending. By the way, no switching. We're going right back to topics here. There's no commercial break. United Wholesale Lending will even get your offer fully underwritten and approved up front so you can compete with the cash offers. With the increase in inventory, the market has shifted from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Buyers now have the opportunity to shop for the home that's right for them instead of selling just for whatever's available. They say marry the house, date the rate. I love that saying. And as we said, you can always refinance as soon as rates come down or do an alternative loan option like a 2-1 buy down. Get pre-approved over the phone in under 15 minutes without even running your credit. Refinance with Shelby.com. That's refinance with Shelby.com. NMLS number 279051. BRA number 01864354. Mark Jones coming up in 50 minutes. Sean Salisbury in about an hour. And right now, word from Jason Ross.
Yeah, let me tell you to check out the FCS playoffs. Friday night at Hornet Stadium in Sacramento State is in the quarterfinals, and they'll be hosting Incarnate Word. Game time 7:30, Hornet Stadium Friday. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
All right, in the meantime, right now, it's Jay Mars time. 3 for Madness.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Magnus on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Question 1.
Hi, Jay. How you doing? Welcome in. Can't hear you. It's okay. Wow.
You know what the issue is with studios? It's too much buttons.
Yeah,
way too many buttons.
They're way too much buttons.
Remember back in our day when you just had the on-off button, but now you have the aux, the OL, the odd, the PGM,
the Fox and the
TB,
aux.
the Q. Too many buttons.
Well, it won't be your problem for long if we all have our way.
Oh,
Meantime,
boy.
3 for
Wow,
Madness.
what are you saying?
I'm done with him.
Oh, okay.
He's been on the show too long. Average.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got to be approaching some sort of record.
You've got to be. You've been here longer than Kyle, haven't you?
I have been here.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
On this show.
I've been here almost 4 years.
Oh, God, that has to be a record. Yeah, it's too long.
Okay.
It's got to change up at some point. I'm impossible to work with. It's got to be someone else soon. 3 for Madness question.
You're polarizing.
I'm very polarizing.
I want a Heisman. I want a trophy.
You'll settle for a lightsaber and you'll like it.
Ew.
Yeah. Question 1.
Justin Verlander didn't settle at all.
No.
He signed a big deal with the Mets. 2 years, $86.6 million. And Trey Turner signs an 11-year deal with the Phillies for $300 million. For a sport that is seemingly on the decline, the contracts aren't. Are these long-term deals good for the game?
Here's the thing, and this is where it gets tough for fans and people that cover the sport to wade through. It's like you look at golf and the numbers associated for golf. They should not have the money they have. They don't get those ratings. But it's the coveted demo that advertisers cover. And that's a whole different topic.
Mm-hmm.
But baseball is one of those sports that has that coveted demo that advertisers covet. MMA, coveted young demo that advertisers covet. So the sport's favorability may be on the decline, although baseball's been declining since I can remember, and yet it's still here.
Nom.
But the money's there. I question more the how smart the contracts are, to be honest with you. I don't care about protecting the owners from themselves. I'm all for owners wasting money because they're dumb, but where it sucks is for the fans because you find yourself in salary cap hell or an owner that cuts it off at a certain point. And when you're throwing out monies like this in deals that you probably are going to regret at some point, you know, the Verlander deal, I don't know that I necessarily had a huge
it's 2 years. That's
issue
fine.
with that. It's 2 years. It's 2 years of 43
Yeah.
per. But the fact that it's 2 years makes sense. Let me ask you real quick before you answer. Brian Cashman, GM of the Yankees, signed through 2026. Do you agree with that? Do you like Cashman?
Yeah.
Funny that they re-signed him before Aaron Judge makes his decision.
I hope that means something in a positive way, or is that the opposite?
Yeah.
Like,
San Francisco Giant Aaron Judge?
I hope not.
Have an interesting tidbit about that coming up in What's Hot, What's Not.
Oh, there's a tease. By the way, I'm with you. I hope not to.
Yeah.
I'll welcome him and I'll be super happy if they sign him. But
yeah, I'll be bummed as a Yankee fan, but I'm a Judge fan. So, I mean, seeing him here more often would be great. But yeah, I want him to stay as a Yankee. But as far as the long-term deals, it seems like it's something that's happened in the sport now for years. And now we've gotten to the end of some of those. Remember, Pujols is now done that 10-year deal he had back with the Angels, and he ended up being on a couple of teams before that whole thing expired. So, I mean, I get it wanting to land some, especially more like the Machado, not the Machado, but the Tatis, Bryce Harper, guys that were in their 20s,
early 20s,
early to mid 20s.
Yeah,
made more sense than like, I don't know what Judge is going to sign. He's like, I think a year and a half older than Turner.
Yeah.
And if Turner gets 11 years, I mean, do you want to pay Judge when he's 40, 41, 42, this kind of money?
You know, it's going to be 10 years, 300 something.
Yeah. If he gets 11 at 300, man.
I think it'll be over 300.
I think it'll be 10 and over 300 for Judge.
350.
10 and 350. Do either of you guys say yes to that as a Yankees and Giants fan?
No.
It's interesting because you guys both root for the teams that are in the sweepstakes.
Yes, and no, I don't. You probably do because
I do, but then I think what the reality is, you hope you get 5 awesome years, maybe 2 that are trailing, and then you go and you try to move them in like the 7th year. That's the way these things work.
But then you're paying, and I mean, who wants a guy making $30 million who's at or near 40, who, and especially power hitters, the moment his timing slows down, which is the first thing to go, it's not like he can reinvent himself as a singles hitter.
Right.
It's not like he can reinvent himself as a contact hitter. The moment that slows down, you're paying $30 million a year for an old Rob Deere. No thanks.
Maybe even 40 million. If it's 10 and 400.
Oh, that's right. Woof. All right. Question 2.
Question 2.
If you were a high school recruit or current college player, would you go play for Dion Sanders at Colorado? By the way, Dion put out a tweet this morning that he's looking at that transfer portal and like licking his chops.
Well, a lot of people gave him grief for the video that was out there too. It's like, pack your bags if you want the portals out there. I got guys coming.
It's like this weird now like college football free agency.
He also said when he was talking he said, I'm bringing some of my luggage with me, and it's what he say, it's Gucci or some awesome brand. And I took that to mean he's bringing a couple of his Jacksonville State players too.
I'd imagine so.
Look at his son.
I'm really mixed about this. I love Dion Sanders. I've loved him since he was obviously in college. I am a little bit like Dion doesn't owe HBCUs anything, and he brought a lot of notoriety to them. He did. He put a lot of HBCUs on the map, especially Jacksonville State. Hopefully that's going to be continuing to up and come. And he said when he was talking to his Jacksonville State players, if you saw the speech, that hey, listen, you basically got to keep moving up or you're dead. You know, you got to keep moving in this business. I feel bad for the players that are still there, but that happens all the time in college, and Dion shouldn't be any different. Now the question is interesting, and as you know, I always poke at these questions because I'm a dork, but it's one of those, well, I need to know who else is recruiting me. I need to know where, but I think I know the point, which is if all things were equal based on who was recruiting me, does Dion Sanders move the needle for me at Colorado? And the answer is yes, because if you are a college player, an elite college player trying to make the NFL, a lot of what happens there is going to be exposure. It's a reason why Notre Dame is continually successful despite the academic requirements, because they're on NBC every Saturday. They're on NBC, which means guess what? NFL scouts don't have time to go to every game in South Bend. So there's times they're just going to sit back and pull out their notepad and they're going to flip on Channel 3 and watch Notre Dame. Well, it's the same idea. Colorado is a phenomenal, historic, at least over the last 30 years, especially football program that has a lot of really great players that have come through there. They've won a national championship. It's a great school for football. It's been completely irrelevant now for a while. Dion Sanders is going to bring a lot of notoriety. Is he going to improve them? Probably, but you don't know. But he's certainly going to bring a lot of eyeballs there.
Yeah, on the recruiting part, to me, it's your point is right. Like, who else is talking to me? And I think at this point, you would have, if Colorado's recruiting you probably have a lot of coaches that are recruiting you. So then it's one, what does the coach mean to me? And two, what is the school? What is the situation? What is it? Do I want to go to Colorado? I got the feeling, though, if Dion is successful at Colorado, if you think he's there more than 3 years.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's a stepping stone for him.
I wonder, I would like to ask Dion. I'd love to be at that Colorado press conference. I'd love to ask Dion, hey, Dion, what is your ultimate, like, you don't have to say the team, but where is Dion Sanders ultimately? What is your pinnacle? Is it
Florida State, maybe?
Right, exactly.
I think if he could lead Florida State to a national title, like
That'd
that's
be pretty sweet for him.
That's nirvana for him as a college football coach.
And but the thing is, would that mean more to him than being a head coach of the Niners or Patriots or a high level NFL team? Is he an NFL guy? Does he have his eye on the NFL?
I think college football is perfect for him because he just has built-in advantages when it comes to recruiting.
Yes,
remember when he goes to visit a player, it's very likely that said player's mom or dad idolized him, and that plays a lot into these decisions.
Imagine when Dion, and there's plenty to recruit around Boulder, and Fort Collins, and Denver, and all that. Imagine though when Dion hits the streets of Florida. And the SEC, what Dion's going to be able to do, and by the way, I was saying Jacksonville State. I'm sorry, it's Jackson State. What Dion's going to be able to do is he's going to be able to be the secret handshake into some of that traditional SEC, Southern ACC world because of his name recognition. Who doesn't want to play for primetime?
That's right.
Number 3.
Question 3.
Sad news yesterday out of the celebrity world. Kirstie Alley passed away from cancer. She was 71. Her breakout role was Rebecca Howe on Cheers. Did you prefer her or Diane Chambers, who was played by Shelley Long, as Sam Malone's counterpart on Cheers?
So funny because they're just two different parts. And the show...
They made it work.
And that's so rare.
Just like Coach and Woody.
That's right. They made it work. It's two huge losses, and then Kirstie Alley was phenomenal. I think Diane was a better fit for the show as a whole because of her. There was not the chemistry between Kirstie Alley or her Rebecca Howe and Sam Malone. I don't think had that crazy love-hate chemistry. They tried to do it.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
But I love Kirstie Alley. Kirstie Alley was just beneath Marky Post for me when it comes, no pun intended, when it comes to childhood crushes. I love her. Also underrated, Kirstie Alley in Summer School with Mark Harmon. Remember, she was the mentor teacher there. Yeah. And Kirstie Alley, Look Who's Talking.
Look Who's Talking.
Yeah, Kirstie Alley was a little bit. Some of her, Kirstie Alley towards the last few years, some of her opinions out there got a little weird for me, but
as a talent,
one of my childhood crushes, and just unique. She had a face and a look and a scowl. Something
still did even in her later years.
Nobody could top that.
Yeah, the way that back to the show, how they could make that work with two significant changes of key personnel makes you realize how great Cheers was.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. Also, I'll say this about Cheers. I agree. I think Diane was better for Sam. I liked Rebecca Howe more as a character overall.
Well, what Rebecca...
more likable.
And what Rebecca Howe did, too, by the way, I know we got a break, but one of the genius pieces of casting was the whole, what was his name? Robin, her boyfriend and then bringing in that actor. I forget his name. He just passed away. Was
really good, though.
Part of the West Wing, too. Very, very good. That whole interplay, there was just a different level of interplay that Cheers had. We'll take a break. The Niners quarterback situation, it looks pretty apparent. What happens next, and what did Kyle Shanahan say either this morning or late last night? I can't tell specifically about Baker Mayfield. We'll tell you next.
From the draft to free agency to the summer league
to the games that matter the most.
It's good, and it's pandemonium at Golden One Center.
When it comes to the Kings, nobody has you covered like Sactown Sports, your local sports leader.
There is beauty and there's uncomfort in owning an older home. The craftsmanship back then, the way they were built, the character, all have their positives. Now, on the other side, older homes need some love and some tenderness, and in our case, some help. Jason Ross here to tell you about the help we're getting thanks to ACR Solar. Now, you hear solar, and you know what? Yes, they do solar, but after years and years of living at our house, the time has come to get a new roof. Our old roof has done its job, but it is done. It's tired, and it looks it. So after doing the proper research and talking with several roofing companies, we landed on ACR Solar. They stood out from the first visit when Joe, their roofing expert, came out and shared his knowledge. We knew at that moment we were at ease because we were in good hands. Also, after our conversations with John, the owner of ACR Solar, that just confirmed what my wife and I already knew, that ACR Solar was the right choice for us. So we're so excited to begin our journey with ACR Solar. We're going to have a beautiful new roof, become more energy efficient, and have the peace of mind we're looking for. ACR Solar, 916-481-2700, or you can visit them at acrsolar.com.
Folks, there's been some fumbles on the way to the big game, but he's been getting some help to get it done tonight. Here's the throw. And he's off to the races. He might go all the way. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10, touchdown. He did it, folks. He did it.
Regain and optimize your sexual performance, drug-free and surgery-free. The Gainswave treatment will help you get that bedroom touchdown. See what Dr. Dan Botha and his team at Gainswave can do for you. Visit GainswaveCalgary.ca.
Dell Technologies' Days of Deals for Business start now with fresh, limited quantity deals on tech to drive productivity. Save on select performance laptops and desktops powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything, and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Ooh, there's nothing worse than being cold and uncomfortable in your own home. Make sure you and your family are able to enjoy the holidays this winter. At American Energy Heat and Air, we want to make sure your furnace is running safely and efficiently during these cold months. For only $49, take advantage of the 30-point tune-up today. Proudly servicing the community since 1981, American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Book your tune-up today for only $49. Call 916-520-9990 or visit them at AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Did you hear? Santa's coming back to Sacramento for the 39th Annual Santa Parade happening in downtown Saturday, December 10th. The fun starts at 10 a.m. with car clubs, pageant winners, clowns, floats, marching bands, and, of course, Sacramento welcomes Santa Claus to town. Grab the family for a fun-filled tradition. Thanks to Western Health Advantage, Shriners Children's Northern California, Attic Man Heating and Air, California Army National Guard, and Huff Home Services. Get more info at SactownSports.com.
Sactown Sports headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. With the Bucs trailing 16-3 with 5:21 left in the fourth quarter, 45-year-old Tom Brady went to work, throwing 2 touchdown passes to defeat the Saints 17-16, surpassing Peyton Manning in the process for the most career fourth quarter comebacks in NFL history with 44. The Bucs moved to 6-6 and maintain control in the NFC South. The NL champion Philadelphia Phillies are reloading, signing all-star shortstop Trey Turner to an 11-year, $300 million deal. The Phillies weren't the only NL East team to make a big splash, as Cy Young winner Justin Verlander agreed to a 2-year, $86.6 million deal with the New York Mets. Verlander's deal includes a vesting third-year option, according to ESPN. The option for 2025 is set for $35 million, a source told the Associated Press. The 9-time All-Star turns 40 in February. Coming up today, Sacramento Kings play-by-play voice Mark Jones joins the show at 8 a.m. And former NFL quarterback Sean Salisbury joins us at 8:13 from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Stimulating conversation about kitchen gadgets and baseball cards.
I think that's really crazy interesting.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Brock Purdy, Niners quarterback. You, as a Niner fan or just an analyst, like for me, I can see both sides. Now, the side I lean towards is worst case scenario. Teams figure him out real quick. There's a reason why playing at a major college. There's a reason why he went last in the draft.
Yeah.
This is not a professional football player. And teams will figure him out pretty quick.
Yeah.
And we're going to have Josh Johnson quarterbacking. That's worst case.
Well, and you think about, we've said this phrase before, the best position, the best job in sports is the backup QB.
Yes.
And if you think about, I try to think about the mental approach that Brock Purdy's had this year. Excited to be drafted.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to a great organization. Oh, they're keeping Jimmy G. Well, I'm behind. And maybe Nate Sudfeld, like, am I even going to make the team?
Right.
So he makes the team. Well, I'm third, so I'm not playing. Uh-oh. Trey Lance got hurt. Now I'm second. I've got to be ready. And then week after week after week.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the backup, but I mean, I know I'm one play away, and that's always in your mind, but then
like
it doesn't.
tag repair man.
Yeah, but then it doesn't like stay top of mind because it's like, well, I'm not going in. And then you get thrown in without time to think about it. Now, at some point, you know, in his mind, he went, I'm the starting quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers that is good enough to win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
there's a lot on my plate. And right now, everybody's good with him. Everybody is. If he has that game where he's 7 of 21 with 2 picks and maybe a reason why we need someone else.
Right.
You know how that's the way it works.
Yes.
That's a heavy
Montana young Purdy.
Right. But he can't think that way, but that's the reality of the way it works.
Worst case is that.
Yeah.
Middle case, probably the most likely.
Yeah. Manage the game.
He's a poor man's Trent Dilfer.
It's fine.
He's a poor man's Joe Flacco. He muddles them through. Kyle Shanahan, if you had any coach in the league in charge of protecting a lack of talent, no disrespect, Kyle be right up there. The defense and the skill positions take over. You got a ton of running behind that offensive line. You got a ton of dump off passes that yards after catch are 80% of the yardage, and they muddle through and peter out somewhere in the playoffs, whatever, first, second round. But on the table, Disney, Mr. Irrelevant comes in. It took not one, not the top 3, gave up all the picks.
Right.
Not that guy, not the high draft pick. Not the Jimmy Garoppolo story, which, by the way, was like, if it wasn't a Disney movie, it was a Lifetime movie. Comes back and it. Now, Jimmy, Mr. World, good looking. Team loves him, runs through fire. Now he's hurt. Here comes Mr. Irrelevant. Nobody gives it a chance. He's going to fail. Wait a minute. What? Just as Tom Brady's riding off into the sunset, here comes another guy everybody missed. Leads him to a Super Bowl or better.
Yeah.
They're all on the table. And right now, I would probably choose the middle option. I would go middle option, worst case, best case, in that order. That's a great thing about sports. You don't know. You don't know. That's why we tune in every week. Fred Warner thinks he's got the it factor.
If you ask anybody how I feel about Brock Purdy, like, I have the most respect and confidence in him because I see him every single day, on the scout team, the way that he comes out and prepares and competes, the confidence he has, the swag he has. Like, I got all the confidence in the world in Purdy. And that's a lot. It's a lot to ask of a rookie, obviously being thrust in the position he's in, but at the same time, he doesn't have to do too much. He's done a great job of getting us ready every week, defensively. So, like I said, I have all the confidence in him. He's prepared, he's ready because he's played against the best defense in the league for the past 13 weeks, so he's going to be just fine.
Well, and the other thing, too, is what we've said, the totality of the team, the reality of how good of a football team they have. And a lot of times, I know I'm guilty of this when maybe the playoffs come around and it's a head-to-head, who's going to win? I look at quarterbacks.
Yep.
So if you do that in the NFC, Dave, today, I'll go from 7-1. Seattle, it's Geno Smith.
Yeah.
He's having a great year. But before this, is anybody?
No.
Geno Smith's going to lead this team to a
no.
Okay.
No.
Daniel Jones, fine. It's good.
Sure.
It's good.
Decent.
Dak Prescott, pretty good quarterback. Where's that big breakthrough win for him?
Right.
Now we're to 4. Tom Brady. Okay. Now incredible, but I don't know what's going on. Their team. Last night, I thought they were about to go 2 games below 500 and going like someone's going to win that division, but they came back and won.
Yeah, to have this walk-off Tom Brady masterpiece.
Yeah.
Pantheon moment to beat the Saints at home.
Right. And then you go to the top 2 teams, the Vikings or Cousins. Again, professionally good, but no one ever raves about him.
Once upon a time, I forgot, who was he? Why am I blanking? Who was he backing up in Washington?
RG3?
It was RG3, thank you. By the way, RG3 available.
Yes.
Familiar with the Shanahan offense.
And then Hurts, who's having a great season. But again, that list, I still think most people would say the best quarterback in the NFC is either Brady or Rodgers.
Yes.
Rodgers is likely not in.
Yes.
So here's Purdy, though, with the best assets around him, though.
Is the closest recent comparison to a guy like Brock Purdy, Nick Foles.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Nick Foles came in with the big Nick energy, as people said, and the team rallied around him.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a lot. Here's the thing. Brock Purdy is unique. Now, somebody brought up on the text line. Let me give them their respect here. They were talking about NFL players that were undrafted. And mentioned a bunch of different ones. I can't find it, but it was like Kurt Warner, Tony Romo, Jeff Garcia. I hear you. There we go. It's Kevin. Thank you. I'm going to put this up. There you go. Kurt Warner, Warren Moon, Tony Romo, Jeff Garcia. So Kurt Warner, though, remember, he was back. He had to go through NFL Europe and bagging groceries, and he did the whole thing and then matured into who he was. Warren Moon had a tremendous USFL career. Jeff Garcia and Tony Romo, a little bit different, but again, these are guys that also sat back. And did Garcia back up young? Am I getting my timelines wrong there? He did back up young. The thing that makes Purdy unique, listen, even Tom Brady was holding a clipboard for Drew Bledsoe. He didn't just pop right in.
Right.
So you want to make this, you want to do a Brady Bledsoe moment here. But it is different. He's not just Mr. Irrelevant. He's the reigning Mr. Irrelevant. If he were to come in, for example, we talked yesterday, which would be crazier, the Brady story or this. Now, not the overall picture, of course. You got a long way to go to catch Tom Brady. This guy's played one game. But the reigning Mr. Irrelevant to come in. And I love what Fred Warner said, by the way. And that's something we forget. Not only does he have the swagger, but he has been playing against the best defense in the NFL in practice for 13 weeks now. This is going to be perhaps Kyle Shanahan's biggest challenge of his entire coaching career. You have all the assets, but the most important one, can you scheme? Does he know things about Purdy? Of course he does. He knows things. Let me change that. He knows things about Purdy the rest of the league does not know.
Right. His strengths.
And are we going to see that playbook now adjusted? Very interesting to see, speaking of the Buccaneers and Tom Brady, how that works out next weekend. Also, keep your eye on Tom Brady and the Buccaneers as well. Coming out to San Francisco. This could be, again, I want to get crazy here, but this could also be a little mini audition out here as well. I still think, don't close the book on Tom Brady, quarterback of the Niners next year. Just don't close the book.
Okay. But then what do you do with Jimmy? What do you do with Trey Lance? What do you do with Purdy?
Well, Jimmy go.
Yeah. Which was the thought at this point last year.
And Trey Lance carries a clipboard
for one more year.
And by the way, you're carrying a clipboard for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Let's check out this Kings road trip coming up and look at reasonable. What are your reasonable expectations starting tomorrow in Milwaukee? We'll do that next.
Sactown Sports 1140 is broadcasting live on YouTube.
To me, it's a must watch.
Check out the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and the Cattles and Rami Show.
Plus, get exclusive content.
Search Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. Look, a holiday magic trick every year. Amy's Outdoor Living makes an incredible metamorphosis into Sacramento's finest holiday store. See dozens of beautifully decorated themed Christmas trees, find hundreds of unique ornaments perfect for any tree, plus sensational gifts for everyone on your list. Is there a better gift than a Traeger pellet grill? No. Specially priced for the holidays. Save $400 off the Timberline $850 and $1350, $200 off the Pro 575. Oh, my goodness gracious. Get $2 off all rub sauces and seasonings and pellets. Fire pits make a wonderful gift. It'll be where the family gets together to enjoy all that Christmas cheer. Experience the magic of the holidays at Amy's Outdoor Living. Now 2 locations. El Camino near Watt and Carmichael. That's the one I grew up going to with my dad. And inside Amy Ace Hardware in El Dorado Hills Town Center. Get up there today. Enjoy the holidays. Make everybody happy. And support your good local businesses like Amy Ace Hardware.
Your local utilities are offering up to $11,000 in rebates to make energy-saving home improvements. Turn to the experts at Clark & Rush & Carrier, your rebate specialists.
License 608-005.
These home electrification upgrades will lower your energy bills and put rebate cash in your pocket. We'll even do the paperwork. You enjoy the rebates.
Smart energy savings is what we do. Clark and Rush.
Call 916-609-2681.
ATM Mortgage.
Hi, this is Jeff Tarbell with a very unique program for homeowners over 55 years old. How would you like to cut your house payment in half and maybe get some cash out too? Give ATM Mortgage a call. 916-338-9400, 338-9400, or online at atmmortgage.net.
ATM Mortgage.
License under California CFL and MLS 223-4889.
Do you take pride in your holiday gift purchases? Or are you someone who just wants to get the whole gift buying ordeal over with? Hi, Doug Christie here, and I'm both. I do like giving great gifts, but I don't have tons of time to do so. So if you're like me, listen closely. Plus, I'll even save you 20% during the holiday season. I'm talking about Good Feet Art Supports. Surprised? You shouldn't be. At last count, roughly 80% of all adults suffer or will suffer from foot-related pain issues. These tend to be active people and people working on their feet, anywhere from 35 to 64. Sound like anyone on your gift list? And during the holidays, when you buy a Good Feet Art Support gift certificate, the Good Feet store will add 20% to its value. That's a 20% bonus free. And remember, Good Feet Art Supports come with a lifetime warranty. So you're giving a lifetime of unmatched comfort, balance, and support. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, and Modesto. Online, goodfeet.com.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Chappell here, serial entrepreneur. I started my first business in a dingy basement of a factory in 1986. Instead of customers, my visitors were rats, birds, flies, and snakes. To psych myself up that I was going to succeed, I wore formal business attire and a tie to that lonely factory basement every day. I was a total type A business geek, crunching spreadsheets for my accounting. Today, my fifth successful business, Patriot Software, makes accounting simple for accountants and non-accountants alike, eliminating the need for many of us business geeks to crunch spreadsheets or wear formal business attire ever again. Go to PatriotSoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
Accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. On Sactown Sports 1140.
And talking about the passing of Kirstie Alley, we get to the Kings road trip here, which has nothing to do with you. Started thinking about actors that got their start in TV in major roles, not like he had a bit part. George Clooney, Denzel Washington. What would your Mount Rushmore be?
Tom Hanks.
That went on to be huge movie stars.
Yeah.
And then you put a whole wrench in everything by mentioning Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, because so many people started there and then moved on.
I consulted with Pat, Tom, and Cody. We have decided, I hope you agree with this, SNL has to be a different category.
Okay. Fair enough.
It does.
Okay.
Bill Murray, Billy Crystal, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
What do we have? Denzel. We had Denzel, George Clooney, Tom Hanks. And then the fourth one was what? Johnny Depp. Jay campaigned hard for Michael J. Fox. Yeah, something to think about. As we remember Kirstie Alley, who had both a TV and movie career. She passes away at 71. So chew on that for a while we talk about this Kings road trip. First off, expectations. Let's get out of the way. 6-game road trip, Jason. They are going to come back having gone. What do you, not what you want, what do you expect? What you're betting in Vegas right now, what are they going to go on this road trip?
3-3 or better.
Okay.
I don't have a number. I never really had a number in my head. I really love the way they compete. And if you compete every night, and if you just go on record and ratings now where they are offensively, I think over the last 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, they're number 3 defensively, which is incredible. Then you should think and believe in yourself that you're a good team. And I think you validate that by winning on the road. So, yeah, this isn't an easy trip. The layout's okay. Not ideal, but it's okay. I don't love the back-to-back, but it's in there. Go get them.
Bucks lost at home to the Lakers, home to the Bulls, home to the Hawks. That's it. They had that torrid start. Huge start. Were they like 9-0, something crazy like that? You and I both agree we'd walk away with 3-3 right now.
Absolutely.
walk away with 3-3 right now. I do think they'll go 3-3 as well. And I'm amazed that I'm saying on a road trip that involves Milwaukee, Cleveland, Philadelphia, and Toronto, that they go 3-3, which means that in order to do that, they have to beat the Knicks. They have to beat Detroit. They'll be favored in both.
Yeah.
And then they have to steal one from either Milwaukee, Cleveland, Philly, or Toronto. Cleveland, and I think they start this road trip out with the two toughest games.
Yeah.
I think Milwaukee's the best team in the NBA, not named Boston, and they may end up being better. They've had injury issues. And I think Milwaukee just lost at home to the Lakers. I don't think they're going to lose at home again for a while. And I think Cleveland's got revenge on their minds.
Yeah, and even when they were here, the Kings won that game, but that was a really weird matchup. The size was very evident. Kings got dominated on the boards and a lot of different things, but they still won.
That was
great.
Arguably the worst on paper matchup of the year for the Kings that they ended up winning.
Yeah, just watching head to head, you're like, I don't know how this is going to work, but they won.
And I think Cleveland is going to want to demoralize them. That's going to be a very, very difficult matchup. They will be favored playing the Knicks. Embiid's back, Harden's back. They will not be favored in Philly. I do not believe they'll be favored in Philly. That's going to be a tough one. And again, look at who Domantas Sabonis is going to have to deal with on this road trip. He's going to have to deal with Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's going to have to deal with
or Lopez. Really. Yeah.
He's going to have to deal with Evan Mobley in Cleveland. He's going to have to deal with Joel Embiid. He's going to have to deal with why am I forgetting Toronto? Big man. Pascal Siakam. And he's going to have to deal with Marvin Bagley.
Nothing.
Okay. So he's got a lot to deal with. I mean, they all do. I mean, gosh, Fox is going to have to deal with, let's just start with that Cleveland backcourt and move on. These are good Eastern Conference teams, but it is all Eastern Conference, which is not the Eastern Conference of old where it's all Western Conference and like two Eastern Conference teams. The Eastern Conference is pretty darn decent. I think if the Kings come back 3-3, by the way, they'd be 16-12.
Be fantastic. I mean, they're already working on one of their best starts in years.
Yeah.
And you could just tell, I think they're building confidence. They've identified the roles for the most part. There's some tweaks near the back end of it where right now Okpal is in the mix where maybe Trey Lyles isn't, but I feel like that can change in one game. And then you're just trying to find when's the groove that Herter gets back in. When does Keegan Murray fully get consistent? De'Aaron's been good, but he's been better than he's played the last couple of games. Sabonis has been out of this world. Same with Monk. So you just try to keep grinding, keep finding the ways for as many guys to play well. And I just like where they are offensively, collectively, except for they're turning the ball over too much lately.
Yeah.
And then defensively, they've got a concept that they've found to work where they're protecting Sabonis enough. They've protected the paint enough, and they've improved there.
Earl says just take the L against the Bucks. And we can win most of the. Earl just wants us to sit against the Bucks. Play it. There's only one back-to-back on this trip, to be honest with you. Yeah. It's one back-to-back. That's Philly-Toronto. That is a tough back-to-back, obviously. You have a lot of early starts, by the way, Kings fans. Everything from 5 to 4:30 to 3 o'clock on Sunday against New York. Wouldn't mind seeing one or two of these flexed in. We're not at the flex point yet. I'm actually a little bit surprised. They have the one ESPN game Wednesday, January 11th. That's a home game against Houston, but they had that. We have not seen a Kings flex yet, and I feel like that's coming any day now. They're 100% getting flexed in.
Yeah, I think one thing that may have I don't want to say hurt that, but the way the Lakers started.
Yeah,
the Lakers probably had 20 games listed. And if they kept going down that road where they were way, way down there, but they've played better lately, that's a team you could take off. They probably have the Knicks listed a bunch. They're still below the top 10, so that could be something a team that could be tweaked out of there. But, I don't know if I would say Milwaukee. You just don't take the L for Milwaukee. I look at the Boston game. That game started poorly, then was going great. It looked like the Kings might actually pull off the win there before they got hit with a haymaker at the end. But this team has consistently competed. You just got to keep doing that.
Would you be okay with somebody shooting 13% from behind the arc?
13? No.
That is Kevin Huerter's last 5 games.
Wow.
It really is. It can 4 of 31. And we're going to talk to Kevin tomorrow at 8:27.
Yeah.
We're going to ask him. And I'm really curious. Let me honestly, Jason, I've been thinking about this the last day or two. I'll pull back the curtain a little bit. We adore Kevin Huerter, and we love that he comes on the show every week. win or lose. And he's he's quickly becoming one of my favorite Kings interviews of all time. He's the perfect combination of relevant player, good player, very insightful, very self-aware.
Yeah.
But over the last couple of days,
just likable.
Very likable.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have we got, we usually record, we get done, seriously, we get done recording Kevin Herter, and he hangs up, and then you and I say, cat, we just want to hang out with him.
Yeah,
he's
just
a cool cat.
Dude. Yeah.
But I have been thinking, I wonder I'm very curious to see how he handles our questions about his shooting. Now, we're not going to be like, Kevin Herter, you've been terrible.
Yeah.
Of course, we're going to ask him politely and respectfully because we love him. But some players react differently to situations like this. Some don't want it. I don't really want to talk. I want to focus on it. I want to get in my head. Some are very analytical about it. Now, we asked, it's been a long enough slump for him that we were able to ask last Wednesday. But the question was more of like, hey, you got this little tiny funk you're in currently. Are they playing you differently? Is it, man? And he said, well, it's a little bit of both. A little bit, I'm off, but, they're playing me differently. I'm having to do this, that. Now we're in a situation where I wouldn't say it's DEFCON 1, but it's like DEFCON 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 of 31 for a guy that 2 weeks ago we're saying, oh my God, he's shooting 50%.
Yeah,
this isn't sustainable.
Right.
What has happened? Because the Kings over this stretch, which I didn't even check, Jason, they're 3-2 over the stretch of 4 of 31 shooting for Herter. And how many of those wins do you credit either directly or damn near directly to Kevin Herter's shooting? What he didn't bump his head and forget how to shoot a basketball. He's going to turn it around. De'Aaron Fox is going to get healthier. Keegan Murray looks like he's pulling out of the slump. Terrence Davis has been, and this isn't his fault, just game time or playing time, but Terrence Davis is hit or miss. He's going to have another super. The one thing I'm also worried about is the sustainability now of Malik Monk. Now we're kind of there with that.
Right.
He's been too good.
Yeah.
Is he this good, or is he just on a hot stretch right now?
Yeah.
We're going to find all this out on this road trip. 3-3. You and I both agree here. And I think that the adjustment there on our part, because screw the 0-4 preseason, we're looking at this road trip. We're going, gosh, if they can pull 2, it'd be a miracle. Get Detroit, maybe.
Yeah, I'm looking even just, they were going to be at high 20s, 28 games, I think, when they're done with this trip.
Yeah.
They'll have played Boston, played Milwaukee. Now they still play them again. They'll be done with Cleveland. They played Atlanta, played the Pacers, played the Nets, done with the Heat, played the Sixers, played the Raptors. They've played all the top 9 in the East. They played a lot of the team. They've already played Phoenix. They have more to go with them. Clippers a couple times, Memphis a couple times. There's still some of the bottom feeders that are out there waiting for the Kings that they have to take advantage of later too.
Got to win the games you got to win. You're supposed to win, and they've done a good job of that so far. Let's talk about this and more. Mark Jones, play-by-play voice for your Sacramento Kings, joins us next, and we'll ask him who he thinks the most valuable King this year has been. We'll do that right after this on Sactown Sports.
Hey, Kings fans, you got questions? We got answers. Send all your Kings questions to kingsmailbag@sactownsports.com and have them answered by the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and Cattles and Rami during our Kings Mailbag segment every Friday on Sactown Sports' YouTube channel.
Subscribe today by searching Sactown Sports on YouTube.
The only place to get wall-to-wall Kings coverage in the 916, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Buyers Enterprises.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Tuesday. You're out the door to a cooler start to the day. We'll see decreasing clouds into the afternoon, mainly sunny skies ahead and light winds, highs in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Are you remodeling your home? Byers Leaf Guard gutters are a custom solution that are not only 100% clog-free, but they're also 100% custom-made for your home on site. You choose the color and let us do the rest. Learn more at thatsbyers.com.
License number 518784.
Buying a new Acura is an easy decision, and Acura of Stockton makes buying easy. Come and see us today or shop online. If we don't have it, you can pre-select your favorite Acura and pick it up when it arrives. No contracts or deposits required. It's that easy. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade whether you buy from us or not. Don't settle for less than the quality of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or online at AcuraofStockton.com.
Your 2022 Big Sky champions, Sacramento State Hornets, are moving on in the NCAA FCS playoffs. The Hornets will host a third-round playoff game against Incarnate Word on Friday, December 9th at 7:30. Tickets start at just $10 and are available at hornetsports.com. Hornet Nation, we need you to pack Hornet Stadium and cheer on your hometown Hornets in their quest for a national championship. Get your tickets now. Go Hornets and Stingers up.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
It's true, the best new cars make the best used cars. That's why you'll always find a great selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Trade up to a car you'll love. We have a great selection of one-owner, low-mile vehicles you can drive home today. When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Carmichael Dave here, letting you know when the housing market shifts quickly like it has the last few months, having the right mortgage company on your side is crucial in this ever-changing market. We've got just that lender. It's my guy Shelby at United Wholesale Lending. Now you can check them out at refinancewithshelby.com. They're fast, they're local, and competitive. Shelby's team, as I've told you for years, is well known in the real estate market from real estate agents, title companies, appraisal companies. United Wholesale Lending will even get your offer fully underwritten and approved upfront so you can compete with the cash offers. With the increase in inventory, the market has shifted from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Buyers now have the opportunity to shop for the home that's right for them instead of settling for what was available. You can always refi as soon as rates come down, or United Wholesale Lending has alternative loan options like a 2-1 buy down. RefinanceWithShelby.com. That's RefinanceWithShelby.com. NMLS number 279051. BRA number 01864354.
KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the flagship station of your Sacramento Kings. It's Sactown Sports 1140. Sactown Sports headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. With the Bucs trailing 16-3 with 5:21 left in the fourth quarter, 45-year-old Tom Brady went to work, throwing 2 touchdown passes to defeat the Saints 17-16, surpassing Peyton Manning in the process for the most career fourth quarter comebacks in NFL history with 44. The Bucs moved to 6-6 and maintain control in the NFC South. The NL champion Philadelphia Phillies are reloading, signing all-star shortstop Trey Turner to an 11-year, $300 million deal. The Phillies weren't the only NL East team to make a big splash, as Cy Young winner Justin Verlander agreed to a 2-year, $86.6 million deal with the New York Mets. Verlander's deal includes a vesting third-year option, according to ESPN. The option for 2025 is set for $35 million, a source told the Associated Press. The 9-time All-Star turns 40 in February. Coming up today, Sacramento Kings play-by-play voice Mark Jones joins the show at 8 a.m. And former NFL quarterback Sean Salisbury joins us at 8:13 from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone. When he's not on the microphone, he's playing a song. And when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Coming up in 13, Sean Salisbury joins us, and we'll talk directly about the Niners and their future with Brock Purdy, what Sean, who coaches quarterbacks, who play quarterback, sees in him. Also, the Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington debate rages on. It's fascinating to look at the two of them. Here's one thing to think about, too. Which one of their offspring has had more of a presence in Sacramento? You have Colin Hanks. Of course, Tom went to Sac State briefly.
Yeah.
John David Washington played for your Mountain Lions.
Yes.
So both with huge Sacramento connections.
Everybody's about Sacramento now.
Everybody is about Sacramento, including Canadians. Joining us right now. He is fantastic. He is one half of your play-by-play broadcast color analyst duo for your Sacramento Kings, along, of course, with Kyle Draper, the one, the only Mark Jones. Mark, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm great. You see, Dave, Jason, I learned something every time I listen to you guys, man. I did not know that Denzel's son had a connection to Sacramento. That's wild, man. I remember watching him in what was it? Any Given Sunday, one of those series, Playmakers, one of those series. Yeah. Man.
Yeah, John David was running back for the Sacramento Gold Miners back in the day.
The Mountain Lions.
Or Mountain Lions, yeah. I'm sorry. How sad is this? I got the name wrong, and I was the sideline reporter for radio. And, Mark, I tried one time, I approached Denzel, and just to see if, Mr. Washington, could we get a word on your – and he looked at me, and he said, son, I'm not even going to try an impersonation. Son, I'm just here to watch my boy. And so that's all I needed to know. But then by the end of the year, he found out I had the stat sheet. And so he'd come over, he'd grab the stat sheet, he'd point a couple things out. He's an excellent football mind. And that's my relationship with Denzel Washington. I was his stat boy.
That is so cool, man. That is so cool. That's better than me. I met him at All-Star Weekend once for a brief moment, and that was it. But that's really good, man. I didn't know that Tom Hanks' son had ties to the city, too. The city that this morning is 5th in the Western Conference, by the way.
Look at that. Yeah. And also, if you go to Google Maps, as of last night, there is the Beam is now on Google Maps. It is defined as a place of worship. I'm not making that up. You can all check that out for yourselves. And my goodness, Mark, as you guys get ready to leave today for this road trip, Jason and I were just talking. I said, Sabonis is going to have to deal with Giannis and Embiid. And you know what? A listener corrected me on the text line. He says, you keep saying Sabonis has to deal with. That's the old thinking. Those teams are going to have to deal with Domas Sabonis.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, a double-double threat amongst league leaders in double-doubles. And, we saw what happened when guys don't respect what he can do shooting the basketball now. In particular, the last several games, half dozen or more, 8-9 games, he's been shooting the three really well. And you saw what happened, especially in that Clipper game when Zubats gave him all kinds of room. And if he lays back in the paint, well, that's a 15-footer that's wide open. And he started off, Sabonis did like 7 for 7 in that game. And, they're going to have to deal with him at the offensive end. And, not just his scoring, but they can't give Domas all day to, pick apart Philadelphia and or Milwaukee with the passing lanes, the great passing that he's, been able to execute in Mike Brown's new offense, hitting cutters, Herter, Fox, whomever it might be. So, yeah, it's a nice two-way deal now, and they got a game plan for the Kings offensively as well as at the other end.
As we're talking with Mark Jones, all guests come to you on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Mark, about Sabonis, not only the offense has just been amazing what he's done, but what have the Kings done specifically in your mind to, one, maybe protect him defensively? He's not in as much foul trouble, and certainly points in the paint at the very beginning was just a huge issue. So where have the adjustments been defensively to make it all look better on that side of the floor?
Yeah, you know what? Sabonis deserves a lot of credit for his rim protection, even though he's not lauded or really have much of a reputation as a rim protector. But over the last, 5-6 games, if you look at the analytics of it, and I'm not a huge numbers guy, but the eye test and the analytics will tell you that he's been one of the better rim protectors in the league over the last, half a dozen games. Mike Brown talked about some of the rotations that the Kings have made on the back end of their defense. It goes back to some of the on-court sessions during games that he's actually stepped out on the floor and corrected guys like Terrence Davis a couple of games ago. Things they've done on the back end to pick up teams, opponents, short rollers in pick and roll defense, or whether it be transition defense. But the rim protection has gotten a lot better as a result, and they've been able to force teams to shoot more mid-range jumpers and more threes, and it's really helped out.
Mark Jones, play-by-play voice of your Sacramento Kings, with us. Mark, we're so used to losing here and we're so thankful for anything good. But do you see some of the same things we do when you look at Kevin Huerter and how his three-point shooting is just complete? I mean, 4 of 31 we were just discussing over his last few games. Foxy has been banged up here a little bit. It almost, you could make an argument this team isn't really, maybe they're scratching the surface, but they're not at their peak yet.
No, there's a ceiling in a couple, I think 2 or 3 more levels that they haven't reached. And I really feel instinctively like it's going to happen, because when you look at the fact that, we've been able to win ball games, or at least be very competitive in the last 4 or 5 games without De'Aaron at his normal self, fighting through a little bug and some nicks and bruises. And Huerter hasn't shot the ball from deep particularly well, yet he's still creating a lot of stuff off the dribble and still getting twos and knocking down twos and making shots in the paint, getting Monk to contribute off the bench, although he's playing a little bit more at his level than those other 2 guys. But the fact that guys aren't really – Harrison Barnes hasn't played even close to his best basketball yet, guys.
Yeah.
And Sacramento's still in 5th place in the Western Conference. So, on that side of the ball, that's one thing. And this is something, Jason and Dave, that I said earlier. I said, doubters from afar were going crazy and ranting about how, this guy is supposed to be a defensive-minded coach and we're 27th in defense. I said, okay, it's October, buddy. It's October. It's early November. I said, if you know basketball, think about the Boston Celtics last year, that at All-Star break were 15th or 16th in the NBA in defensive efficiency. They ended up number 1 in defensive efficiency, made an exponential leap because the guys bought in and it clicked. That's how it happens on defense, sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly. But this morning, when you look at Sacramento defensively, they're 18th. That rating is going to go up. I'm telling you, they're going to end up in the upper half, at least 15 or higher. You couple that with an offense that has been top 5 for most of the year, and the net rating for Sacramento is in the top 5 overall. That makes for a playoff team, not a play-in team, but a playoff team, provided everybody stays healthy.
Mark, obviously you're here, you're bouncing around doing other games. I'm curious, in your travels, whether it's other coaches, other broadcasters, other people that you come across that know you do Kings games as well, what are they saying to you kind of privately about the Kings?
They're talking about De'Aaron Fox, obviously, and how he seems to have, before this recent kind of, last 4 or 5 games, how he seems to have taken it to another level. And, they notice his work. I talked to them about his work at both ends of the floor, defensively, especially, about how hard and Mike Brown is coaching him, maybe harder than anyone else has coached him in his career, and how Fox enjoys being coached hard and responds it. They're talking about Sacramento scoring as much as anything else, and just blown away. There's perception out there nationally that, wow, they're scoring all these points. How are they doing it? Can they keep it up? And, because I think people are thrown off by the fact that Mike Brown the narrative is that Mike is a defensive coach. Yet here's Sacramento out here scoring 120, 118 points a game. What's going on out there? That seems to be the vibe nationally. And, I explained to them, hey, listen, you've got Sabonis as a great hub, passing off the elbows with split cuts and ball movement and unselfishness, guys buying in. And they're figuring out that Sacramento's for real, and that this is something that is going to continue. And everybody, of course, asked me about the purple beam. That's the first thing they ask about, guys, is the beam. I'm like, you got to talk to Vivek or John Reinhardt about that one. Yeah. And when the aliens come for us, they're going to come to Sacramento first and say, hey, this basketball team is pretty good.
Last question for Mark Jones. Mark, there's two things I tend to have when I'm watching and listening to you and Katie: a thesaurus and access to Google, because my IQ could freeze water, but I love hearing the references. And you had one, I don't remember if I've heard before. It was busted, disgusted, can't be trusted, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm such a student. Jason will tell you, I'm a nerd for play-by-play. I think you guys are superheroes. I love what you do. I love dissecting it. I really am. If you guys had trading cards, I'd have them. This is a true story. You never ask a magician about how he does his tricks, but I am curious for the play-by-play voices of the future. How much, I know you're prepped better than anyone, but how much do you think about phrasing? How much do you think about catchphrases? How much do you think about verbiage before you go into a game, if at all?
Something that I like to stay in the moment, Dave and Jason. I really don't think about things. It really kind of goes back to kind of culturally. I grew up around a lot of folks that when we watch sports and things on TV, we talk to the TV like it can hear us. So when I'm on the couch watching a game with my wife and somebody makes a move or there's a good fake, I'm like, oh man, he put him on a cheap Delta flight. Look at that, and I'll just say, I'll talk to the TV, and that kind of comes out when I broadcast games. I don't think it comes off as organic if you go into it thinking about it.
Sure.
But, I love pop culture. I listen to a lot of, speakeasy and hip hop music, and love the lyrics of some of the great musicians. So, sometimes I'll hear some of those and it'll make an impact. It'll land on me and it'll be filed away deep on the hard drive and it'll come out during a great moment, or it might be something that I've said to myself. So that's kind of the crux of it all, guys.
No. You do a phenomenal job.
I have fun. You got to have fun, guys.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You got to have fun. I keep telling my colleagues at ESPN, I'm like, the E in ESPN stands for entertainment.
Yep.
Entertainment Sports Programming Network. This is not science. It's fun. It's sports. So you got to make it fun.
Yep. A lot of fun this year, and we can watch you and Katie and sometimes Kyle bringing us all the action on television as you get ready to fly to Milwaukee, a 6-game road trip, and I know you're going to have all your duties as well, but you do a phenomenal job, and we appreciate all the fun you're having. Here's to a successful road trip, and we really appreciate your time as always, my man.
Man, it's going to be a fun trip, and it's like my colleague once said about Milwaukee, as we head there first. You never have to worry about what you wear in Milwaukee, but because your clothes are always in style.
Nice.
Take care and drive safe, my man.
Have a good one.
You too. That's Mark Jones.
I heard that one.
I had not either. The Cosmopolitan City Center of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's take a break. When we come back, we roll right along from Mark Jones to Sean Salisbury. What are the Niners doing? What are they going to do? And what is his assessment of Brock Purdy? But in the meantime, we hear from Jason Ross and ACR Solo right after this.
The only place you'll find Harrison Barnes is Sactown Sports.
Harrison now pulls up at the right elbow. King sends a 15-footer.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Harrison Barnes, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey there, Jason Ross here to tell you about ACR Solar. For me, when you're working with a company or with an individual, what you want ultimately is trust. A group, a name, someone that you trust, and that's what has happened with us when we started working with ACR Solar. We were in a position where we needed a new roof. We've been longtime homeowners, and our roof was in bad shape, really, to be honest with you, and we weren't sure we were going to make it through another winter, and certainly over the last couple of days with all the rain we had, we weren't going to make it. So we got to action, and we needed to get a new roof. So we met with a couple of roofing companies. When we met with ACR Solar, we knew then that was the right company for us. That trust I was talking about, keeping your word, the accountability. They would tell us what was going to happen today, tomorrow, the next day, and they were always right on point. So that was really important to us. And then the end result, of course, is a brand new roof that looks great, good curb appeal, but the functionality, now we don't have to worry. It can rain all at once. We're not going to have any roof leaks. We're in great position with this roof for years and years and years to come. They have home services. Of course, they do solar, many other things. But if you're in need of a roof or anything else, make sure you check out acrsolar.com.
Got a take?
Make sure it's a hot one.
Take a shot right now. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports, 1140.
All right, thanks to Mark Jones. We roll right along. Tuesday is one of those days. It's not Monday. It's nowhere near Friday. It's whatever.
It's Sean Salisbury Day.
That's what's so great. Love talking to Sean each and every week, fresh off of his highly successful Houston morning sports radio program and all the spots he does all day long. He still honors us by coming on and spending a few minutes with us. Sean, my brother, what's going on?
All good, man. How are you?
We are in NFL, I don't know if you call it purgatory. We're stressed out. The Niners, massive win. They dominate the Miami Dolphins, but they lose Jimmy Garoppolo. And from the moment that happened, I've been looking forward to talking to you, as I said before the break, a guy who played quarterback, a guy who coaches quarterbacks. I don't know that you've done a ton of scouting on Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, but my simple question is this. For all intents and purposes, Sean, realistically, did the 49ers Super Bowl chances die with Jimmy Garoppolo's injury Sunday?
Oh, no, they took a step back. I mean, that's just a realistic part of it, but I don't think they died at all because we don't know now. I've watched a lot of Brock Purdy in college, and I got a little extra insight because the guy who's been his quarterback trainer in Arizona for years is a very dear friend of mine, and he's worked with him for a long time. So I trust his vision of what he sees when he's on the field working with him. Listen, of course, it's like, oh my gosh, you're on your third string quarterback, but this is how we find out if a guy can play. And I know it sounds so simplistic, but I hate the cliche next man up, but that's what this is. There's nobody out there you're going to go get. Not Baker Mayfield's going to come in a week and start and take over a guy who played damn well last week coming off the bench. It's different now when you are the starter because they prepare for you different, and you prepare different when it comes to your mindset from coming out like a bullpen pitcher and a starting pitcher. And so, listen, we'll have 2 or 3 weeks or less where Brock Purdy is with the offense and their expansion of it, or if they're going to calm it down. Listen, the experience is the biggest issue. Brock Purdy can throw the football. He was a Big 12 first-team quarterback, I think 2 years at Iowa State. The guy's very bright and knows how to do it, and here's an opportunity. Now we got to find out what he does with it. So, yeah, step back. But here's what I would do, fellas, real quick. If I was Kyle Shanahan or if I was the quarterback coach in that room, I would please, I'm begging him not to go in with we do too much, no, don't do this, don't do that, instead of, here's what we're going to do because we trust you. I don't want to, I never wanted a coach to come and say, just don't lose it for us. Just make sure you manage it. You don't have to. I would go into the room and say, dude, you're on payroll. You did a hell of a job last week. You're on this team for a reason. We're not changing squat. They were going to start a guy who'd only started a couple games this year, and they gave a bunch of first-round picks for without much experience. And then they got the experience. Jimmy, now you're on the third one. So why would I change anything? If you believe he can grasp it and process it with all the things they do in their weapons, trust him. Tell him that we believe in you. We expect you to, when the throw's there, to make it. If you put your foot in the ground and you like the bang post, let it rip. Otherwise, you don't have to be a hero is the only thing I tell him. Just do what you do. But we're not backing off and being aggressive. We're not playing not to lose, that we're going to win games, because at some point, Brock Purdy's going to have to make a great throw against a great quarterback or 3 or 4 that can score on your defense. So I'm going in with we're not stopping down because our third quarterback's there. We're going to raise the stakes, and everybody's going to have to raise their game. But until we see what Brock Purdy can't be, I'm going to trust what he can be. Not dead at all. Now we got their chances. Now we got to see how a young guy handles all the duress that comes with being a starting quarterback.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that as we're talking with Sean Salisbury. All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. So, Sean, that you mentioned, obviously, Tampa is the next opponent. They've got a week now to prepare for him. Getting thrown into the fire, there's really no time for nerves, and I thought Purdy handled that beautifully. Now, how does a player, you think, handle the gravity of becoming the starter when you're the backup? You don't expect it. You have to be ready, but it's also the gravity of the situation that he is on a Super Bowl caliber team. What do you think his mental hurdles he's going to have to overcome as being the starter?
I can assure you he's going to have the love of the team and the support of the players. You saw their energy around him, and he's going to need it. He's going to need the offensive line to elevate even more, the defense to get a short field. But I think we're also to the point where why would I not trust he can throw a curl flat route and make a decision? It's just going to, listen, when you're the starter, how you prepare. And the reason I can talk about it, I know what being a backup is, and then, Sean, you're now the starter, and we got big games. Got to get us to the playoffs, which happened a couple times when a guy got hurt and had to be me. And so while you prepare like you're the starter every week, your mindset's different because you know and you don't get any reps. So you got to study extra tape to understand. If you do get a rep as a backup, it's a few. You're throwing scout team. And you got to really, really dial into being able to be good without having reps. And he did a great job. Listen, I know a quarterback in this who played in the league a long time ago, was a high draft pick he was a third string guy. Both of them, he told me, Sean, I didn't expect I was going to play. And he was a high draft pick. And early into the season, a third into it, he was a starting quarterback. And he's like, I was miserable the first 2 or 3 weeks because I did not study, because I didn't expect that I had 2 veterans. Well, it's obvious that, and then he became a really good player, and he's a smart guy. So it's obvious Brock prepared for this now. The mindset is, that they don't have a lot of tape on him, but you can expect them to give multiple looks, a lot of zone, show blitz and back out, show zone and then blitz, to see where his mindset is. So he's got to go in, watch tape. But I wouldn't make, if he's been preparing, now he's going to get more reps, which is a good thing. But don't go in with, I got to be like Jimmy, I got to be a hero. No. Make the throws when they're there, take the shots when they're there, and be smart with the football, knowing we got a good defense. But I would encourage him to be aggressive when necessary. Just be wise. And the preparation is no different other than now from start to finish. And the rest of the season, it's your team. Act like it. And then go play like it. And you got to trust that he will. He'll have some games or some throws where you're like, damn, he's young, but that's okay. I'm not worried about the throw. I'm worried about the next one and how he overcomes it. But having success will change confidence and swagger. He's on a team that's loaded with weapons, and they'll be fine. But he should expect Todd Bowles to give him every ounce of look he can ever expect. And if he's mentally ready for it, the rest will take care of itself. I'm always mental first, physical second.
I got 1 minute left, Sean, because it always flies with you, but I got to ask you, you talked about film. Which should Niner fans focus on more? Other teams don't have a lot of film on Purdy, and Shanahan and Purdy have some secrets in their pocket, or, oh my God, other teams don't have film on Purdy. As soon as they get it, it's probably all downhill from there. Which way is more in your mind?
I'm a glass half full thinker.
Okay.
It's like my kids with trust. When I'm raising my kids, I don't need to look in my kid's drawer and wonder what's going on if they've given me no reason to do it, and they never did. With Brock Purdy, until he proves to me that he can't play and he can't handle what we're doing, then I'll scale back. But right now, as long as he proves to me he can do it, I'm glass half full. Be grateful that he gets to go in, and even when they get film on him, trust that he'll adjust as well, and we'll see how it works.
He's the best in the business. Sean Salisbury, each and every Tuesday at 8:13. Sean, have a great week, my man. Looking forward to this home stretch for the NFL with you.
Yeah, you and me both. Thanks, fellas.
All right, thank you. Take care. That is Sean Salisbury. Speaking of, by the way, we got a couple things coming up here. 1-800-920-1140. 1-800-920-1140. We got a family 4-pack. I forgot to give away those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got a family 4-pack.
I'm ready to go.
Round 3, baby.
Okay.
You going to be there?
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
Sac State playoff tickets. Get in right now. It's super simple. Sac State trivia for ST by Jason Ross. We'll do that along with our updated NFL power rankings. Jason, each week you and I are very close.
Mm-hmm.
I think you and I are going to have the most differentiated top 5 power rankings we've had all season long.
See.
We'll We'll find out next.
The Carmichael Dave Show
with Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, and the primetime football giveaway, it's back. They're giving away a total of $500 for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento, with plenty of well-lit parking and some of the best food in a friendly environment. For more information on tournaments and gaming, please log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. As always, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Nick Cattles, and you should start your holidays right with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers from California Backyard. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill is turning me into a pro. Think outside the kitchen this year and cook your entire holiday meal on a Napoleon gas grill. Napoleon, their grills are built to last. I'll tell you right now, all made with premium steel that boasts quality. Check out Napoleon Grills today at any of the 4 nearby California Backyard locations. They're always the best in backyard living. Check them out at Napoleon.com.
Tune in every Wednesday to the Carmichael Dave with Jason Ross Show for Wine Wednesday, where they whine about plays, calls, everything from the past week in sports. Wine Wednesday, brought to you by E2 Family Winery.
The Mega Chevy Used Car Superstore has one of the largest selections in the area. Over 275 available vehicles, including a great selection of GM certified. And if you're selling, Maida Chevy is buying. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Find new roads.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, curbside pickup, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
You know you need auto insurance. It's the law, but it can be tough to find coverage that fits your budget. California's low-cost auto insurance program provides affordable auto insurance that meets California's legal requirements. Learn more at mylowcostauto.com.
Ooh, there's nothing worse than being cold and uncomfortable in your own home. Make sure you and your family are able to enjoy the holidays this winter. At American Energy Heat and Air, we want to make sure your furnace is running safely and efficiently during these cold months. For only $49, take advantage of the 30-point tune-up today. Proudly servicing the community since 1981, American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Book your tune-up today for only $49. Call 916-520-9990 or visit them at AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Without the ones like you who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7 with supplies and solutions for every industry and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you want to hit the golf ball farther and straighter, the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio offers you the opportunity to experience the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA Tour professionals. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is an indoor facility that opens onto the driving range so you can see your all-important ball flight. With the advantages of cutting-edge technology and analyzing your ball flight, the Hagen Oaks professional staff will make you a better player. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway, or call 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. With the Bucs trailing 16-3 with 5:21 left in the fourth quarter, 45-year-old Tom Brady went to work, throwing 2 touchdown passes to defeat the Saints 17-16, surpassing Peyton Manning in the process for the most career fourth quarter comebacks in NFL history with 44. The Bucs moved to 6-6 and maintain control in the NFC South. The NL champion Philadelphia Phillies are reloading, signing all-star shortstop Trey Turner to an 11-year, $300 million deal. The Phillies weren't the only NL East team to make a big splash, as Cy Young winner Justin Verlander agreed to a 2-year, $86.6 million deal with the New York Mets. Verlander's deal includes a vesting third-year option, according to ESPN. The option for 2025 is set for $35 million, a source told the Associated Press. The nine-time All-Star turns 40 in February. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The 94th most popular celebrity from Carmichael
How popular do you want to be?
meets a Celtics broadcasting legend.
Celtics
We're going to go for the win. Everybody here at Golden One Center on their feet.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Well, it's been a crazy week in the NFL, unfortunately, mainly surrounding the San Francisco 49ers. Power rankings all over the place, I'm sure, everywhere. Also, Zach Harper, who we need to get on this show because he's an Elk Grove kid who's gone national, has his quarter season grades in for the NBA.
Does he watch this team?
Well, I will tell you this. These grades, I think it's going to put a lot of smiles on Kings fans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because I saw like a power rankings the other day, and I went,
these are new power rankings. Well, let me just say this, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. New power rankings, new grades. Can't have a higher grade than what he gave the Kings.
Okay, well, that's
literally
good.
Can't have a higher grade. Let's just say Ralphie's composition in A Christmas Story. That's the grade. Right now, we've got Sac State.
Yes, we want to tell everybody to check out the FCS playoffs Friday night at Hornet Stadium. Sacramento State is in the quarterfinals as they're hosting Incarnate Word. Game time is at 7:30. You could be there Friday night. Go to hornetsports.com, or you can be there if you get the trivia question right.
Which we have an opportunity right now. Aaron is on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, rooting for you, buddy. Here you go. This is for a family 4-pack, or it doesn't have to be family. It could be you and 3 friends.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. We just want you to
4
go.
tickets.
4 tickets, dude. Here's the trivia question.
All right, Aaron, there are the Hornets run a 2-quarterback system. 2 different quarterbacks there. It's unique. It's different, but it's worked. They've done it for 2 years. Can you name either one of the quarterbacks? First name, last name, any fraction of a part of their name.
I know this one.
I can't think.
I know
it. O'Hara?
Yeah, he pulled it out of nowhere. Congratulations, Aaron.
I thought you were saying O. Henry at
O.
first,
Henry?
but O'Hara works. Asher O'Hara, correct.
You were going. You're going to see Sac State versus Incarnate. Word. This Saturday, round 3. You got yourself a family 4-pack of tickets. Congrats, my
for
man.
You.
Hold the line. Jay's going to take all your info. Thank you. No, Aaron, and I mean this. Thank you.
Yes, and that's one of those. Like sometimes you can tell when people are stalling and maybe a quick look on the phone, which is okay.
Yeah, he pulled that.
I think he just grabbed that one from midair.
He did. He pulled
Good
that
for him.
right out of his tuchus.
Yeah.
Good for him. And he'll be having fun this weekend and hopefully a drier
I hope so.
game. Hey, real quick. Thumbs up, thumbs down. It's okay. No judgment. Is the story you told me yesterday airworthy? Is it air okay? About
oh yeah.
Okay.
I could tell it.
We're going to get to our NFL power rankings. You're the play-by-play voice of the Sac State Hornets.
Yeah.
It's raining terribly.
The whole game.
And set the stage.
Yeah. So the press box was redone this year. And so we have a window. I like to have it open to have you have the feel of the game. I think it's important. And it's cold and rainy. We're not getting wet, but you feel the elements, the crowd and everything. So this window that opens up would be equivalent of like a garage door.
Sure. Huge window.
Huge wide window, the width of the of our booth. And so it opens up that way. It takes forever to open. It's on a,
hydraulic.
Whatever. Yeah, but once it's open, we're good. Steve McElroy, who do the games with, we're honestly getting a little cold. It's halftime, and we're not on during halftime. So he said, "Hey, do you mind if I close the window?" I'm thinking, that's fine. We can close it, and then we'll reopen it after 20 minutes. And the second he starts to close it, which I don't know why we didn't think of it. I mean, rain's falling off of everywhere. But he drops the window, and Dave, I don't think I've ever seen more water pour off of anything. And literally, we dropped all of that onto fans below us. All of it. All of it. I mean, like gallons and gallons of water on poor people below us. And a couple people are like, "It's okay." And I'm like, "It is not okay.
You just drowned."
And they're all wearing ponchos. Everybody's wet. The one guy stood up and just let it douse me in the head. He was like, "I don't care." And I'm like, man, we felt terrible.
Oh, well, if you were one of those fans that got doused,
sorry,
Jason and Steve.
Sorry, our bad.
Well,
good for you though.
Good for you though.
Yeah,
we'll douse you now in our NFL power rankings. Let's go 5-1 as we always do. And I'm telling you, my prediction is this. I'll bet you. I think the over/under we're going to share is 3.
Okay.
Number 5.
Who you got?
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay. First time they've been in your top 5.
First time they have been in my top 5. The defending AFC champions. They're just starting to get that look. And winning against Kansas City. I believe that is their 3rd straight. against Kansas City. Styles make fights.
Yep.
And they've got KC's number.
Yeah, Bengals are hot. I like them a lot. I have number 5. I've had them in before. I've had them out. They've kind of bounced in and out, but I'm back in there again with the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas at number 5. Good offense, really good defense. Seems like they're putting it together. They've got a good division. They're near the top of it, not at the top, but I put them at number 5.
Number 4 for you.
The Cincinnati Bengals, second week for them in my top 5. Love that win over Kansas City. I think it's, like you said, 3 in maybe even in a calendar year that they beat the Chiefs. So they're obviously a good team. They're playing really well right now. They were in the Super Bowl last year, picking the right time. I think they've won 8 of 10, something like that. So get the Bengals at 4.
Number 3.
Well, who was your 4?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should say that. The Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, that's a first too, I think.
It is. Listen, I'm not high on Minnesota. I'm really not.
But they have a ton of wins. 10-2 for a reason.
They're 10-2, and they just have enough around the margins. They have 2 losses. Do
they even have a positive win difference? I mean, what's their point differential was so low before?
Because their 2 losses were a combined 64-10.
Oh, it might be negative.
Versus the Eagles and versus the Cowboys. Let me take a look out of there. Yeah, no, it's
like 15 or less.
Minnesota is 10-2 with a plus 10.
That's crazy.
That is absolutely bananas. When you keep in mind too, Detroit's 5-7, they're -9. Yeah. Then again, Tampa Bay is 6-6, -2 in first place. Yeah, it's tough, but I have Minnesota at number 4. Number 3.
I still think this team is really, really good. They're coming off a loss here, but I'm going to keep the Kansas City Chiefs in that top 5 and certainly up high. I have them at number 3.
I think I completely miscalled this one. At number 3, I have the Kansas City Chiefs, which means you and I almost certainly have the same exact. I would say almost certainly have the same top 2.
We had different at 4 and 5.
Number 2 for me.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills. And if you're nodding your head, that means Philadelphia is your number 1 as well.
Yes.
Okay, see, I really honestly thought I misdirected it. I thought you were going to go a different way. I thought a lot of people would with the 49ers, who under any other circumstance, you could argue snuck into the top 3.
Yeah. I was thinking they were really a debate for me at 5 with Dallas. I've had them in before. I thought about Minnesota, but I put Dallas in there, Bengals, Chiefs, Bills, Eagles.
So you and I have our top 3 exactly the same. The only thing we switched really at the bottom there, we have Cincinnati both in. I have Minnesota, you have Dallas. And you know what, at this point, I mean, I want to say it's a coin flip. The cream is rising, but this is also, Jason, you know, we have the new 17-game schedule, but this is also that stretch where those teams that there's always a team or two every year that's been kind of fair to middling or maybe bad or not great, and they start coming on strong.
Yeah, which is right now what's happening with Cincinnati,
Correct.
But we'll see if others continue to do that. I think this was the last week. Yeah, Dave Richter told us this last week about how many people were on bye this week. I got to look that up. I know there was a ton, maybe 6. Yeah, Falcons, Bears, Packers, Colts, Saints, and Commanders. So 6 teams on a bye this week, and then it's kind of the sprint to the finish for the last couple weeks after that.
There are 6 teams in the NFL that have win streaks of 3 or more. The 49ers have won 5 in a row. And again, under any other circumstance, we'd be talking about this team looks Super Bowl destined.
They do.
They look like they're just going to hammer roll through everything. What is a hammer roll? I don't
Not
even know
sure.
what that means. The Bengals have won 4 in a row, and they are that team now that everybody's saying up. Joe Burrow's got that look again. And by the way, that's what Joe Mixon in protocol the last couple of weeks. Samaje Perine has really been stepping up in the end zone. Philly, 3 in a row, along with the Bills at 3 in a row, along with the Cowboys at 3 in a row. And guess what? The Las Vegas Raiders.
Hey, we didn't put them in the top 5.
5-7. I'll tell you this much. I do think that I think if you had a round robin tournament with everybody, I think the Raiders are a playoff caliber team. I don't think there's enough time for them to get in the playoffs, but I think they'd finish top 10-ish.
Based on that plus or that scoring differential, I guess the Vikings always play the closest games besides their blowout losses. If the Vikings played the Raiders, it would be right down to the last second.
It'd be a tie.
Yeah, probably.
You'd love that. We'll take a break. And when we come back, how about God, the show is going so quickly.
It has.
We're going to go to news and notes. We've got celebrity birthdays. We're going to talk about a big celebrity passing. Jay Mars as who's hot, who's not. And we're going to update this conversation we've been having now with a new How Do We Not Think of Him entry into our biggest movie stars that came from TV. We'll do that next.
Live and past broadcasts of the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and Cattles and Robbie.
Interviews, podcasts, and more.
They all live on the Sactown Sports 1140 app. Download the app now in the App Store and Google Play.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Life doesn't stop when the economy is uncertain. The market might not care you have a wedding to plan or a kid to put through school. And inflation doesn't know you've got a family to feed. But Bank of America does, and is here to help. With digital tools to help you save and local experts in Central New York, you can keep life moving forward the way you need it to. Bank of America, what would you like the power to do? Learn more at BofA.com/Central New York. Bank of America NA, member FDIC, equal credit opportunity lender.
Hands up, no fouls, no more, no fouls. Okay, take a break. Hi, Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking what makes you happy? Down to your toes happy. For me, it's winning. You can't beat winning, but finally becoming pain-free is pretty good too. And this is where the Good Feet 3-step arch support system can help. By supporting all 4 arches of the foot, Good Feet returns the foot to its more ideal pain-free position. Good Feet makes over 300 styles, sizes, and flexibilities, so the Good Feet arch support specialist will find the pair just right for you. This holiday season, Good Feet arch supports with their lifetime warranty would be a sensational holiday gift. During the holiday, when you purchase a Good Feet gift certificate, the Good Feet store will add 20% to its value. Free. That's 20% bonus free. Visit the Good Feet store and experience for yourself the pain-free comfort, balance, and support of Good Feet arch supports. Get a free arch support fitting and test walk. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, and Modesto online. Goodfeet.com.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. I began paying employees in 1988. I would handwrite checks and say, here you go, don't cash it until Tuesday. But a teenage employee said his dad wanted to see his pay stub. Pay stub? We don't have pay stubs. Get back to work. He said,
Dad works for the government, and state law requires that I receive a pay stub.
crud. Now I'm supposed to be an expert on withholding payroll taxes and create pay stubs? That's why I created Patriot Software, to help employers with 1 to 100 employees do their payroll correctly with pay stubs. Go to patriotsoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
patriotsoftware.com. Accounting and payroll. Keep your time and money.
Your 2022 Big Sky champions, Sacramento State Hornets, are moving on in the NCAA FCS playoffs. The Hornets will host a third-round playoff game against Incarnate Word on Friday, December 9th at 7:30. Tickets start at just $10 and are available at hornetsports.com. Hornet Nation, we need you to pack Hornet Stadium and cheer on your hometown Hornets in their quest for a national championship. Get your tickets now. Go Hornets and Stingers up.
Did you hear? Santa's coming back to Sacramento for the 39th annual Santa Parade happening in downtown Saturday, December 10th. The fun starts at 10 a.m. with car clubs, pageant winners, clowns, floats, marching bands, and of course, Sacramento welcomes Santa Claus to town. Grab the family for a fun-filled tradition. Thanks to Western Health Advantage, Shriners Children's Northern California, Attic Man Heating and Air, California Army National Guard, and Huff Home Services. Get more info at SactownSports.com.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Air and Solar, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
Oh, who's hot?
Oh,
Well, you and Jason, because you just got a special guest that stopped by.
Yeah, he won't sit down though.
No.
Did the YouTuber see him?
I think
so.
Might have. We'll see. Might have seen our special secret guest we can't mention.
Oh, you know what's great? Actually.
What? Oh, did the cameras?
Well, mine's on. Yours isn't on during the break, so I don't know. Might have.
Yours would have been Jason. Yours would have been the one to catch it.
Oh, they're saying they didn't see him.
Darn it!
I hate keeping stuff from the. We'll respect the privacy.
Yeah,
I hate
because I think that person even said.
Yeah, they say they want that person to come in and sit down, and they'll hang out elsewhere. Not with us.
By the way,
he goes on.
Really good
Cattles and
scent.
He's always got a really good scent. Yeah. You know, for real. When the day comes and he passes and they cut him open and count the rings and stuff, you know, like it's going to be nothing
That's
but
happening never.
Muscle and goodness.
Yeah.
And kale.
A lot of kale too. Huge grapes, by the way.
You know who else is hot? Wow.
Who?
That sounded weird.
Yeah, it did.
The San Francisco Giants, potentially.
Yeah.
So I found this little coincidence fascinating.
Fascinating indeed.
Carmichael Dave, I want to take you back to kind of the peak of your San Francisco Giant fandom. The year of our Lord 1992. The day, December 6th. They signed a kid named Barry Lamar Bonds.
Barry Bonds.
Interestingly enough, coming out of the 1992 season, Barry Bonds won the MVP.
Yeah.
He lost in the LCS and batted .311.
Hey, good band.
Today, 30 years to that day, they are courting another guy who last year won an MVP.
Yeah.
Lost in the LCS and batted .311.
Hey.
If Aaron Judge were to sign with the Giants today, is that the most amazing coincidence ever?
That really is. Although not the player Barry Bonds is. Hey, let me tell you something.
But, I mean, just those facts alone.
God, if I could get half of Barry Bonds' career out of Aaron Judge, I would take it in a heartbeat then. No problem.
For sure.
By the way, you mentioned Barry Bonds was, 28?
I did not mention that.
He was 28. He was just entering his prime. He signed a record-breaking contract with the San Francisco Giants coming off an MVP year. Best player in baseball. 6 years. $43.75 million.
Well, that's what they should offer Aaron Judge then, right?
Yes.
Per.
43 million per. That's about right.
40. We're not that far off. That's just over $7 million.
What's that with inflation?
Not what it is now. I can promise you that. It's still higher. Honestly, that's got to be maybe the most. You can make an argument. That's the most bargain. That and like Steph's rookie deal.
Steph's rookie deal, given the time it was signed.
And then the follow-up, too, because remember he had the ankle issues. Who's not?
Anthony Leon Tucker Jr., better known by NBA fans as PJ Tucker.
Oh, yeah.
How they got PJ from Anthony Leon, I don't know.
Is it not A.L. Tucker?
It's Panthony.
Anthony? Okay.
He has the most 0-point games by a starter.
And me too.
10th in points by a 76er, and has the most 0-point games by any starter since 2010.
Wow. But you know what? He's making money. He's probably making about what Barry Bonds is making.
About his heart.
Oh, all right.
Good point, Jason.
News and no.
Stand by on this frequency.
It's time for the news of the day.
Thank you for ruining the show and dropping a steamer on my journalistic integrity.
Today's important headlines, intelligent analysis, hard-hitting interviews.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
Here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Oh my God, I love those guys.
PJ Tucker's full name is Anthony Leon Tucker Jr., but his dad nicknamed him Pops Jr., thus giving him the nickname PJ. He spent part of his childhood living in Germany while his father served in the Army. And most of you know this about PJ Tucker. Many of you do. Probably easily the best shoe collection in the NBA.
Better NBA pop, Pops Jr. Tucker or Popeye Jones?
Greg Popovich. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay. You're saying
not in the spirit of the question.
All right, what was it? Popeye Jones or who?
Pops Jr. Tucker.
I'm gonna go with Pops Jr.
Over Popeye Jones?
When I remember Popeye Jones, and there's no way for me to say this without
Being mean.
Yeah. This is coming from a guy that would be on this list, but I always thought of Popeye Jones as somebody in the Willie McGee Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I know where you're going with that.
where I'm going.
Yeah.
God bless
There's a few guys like that.
Hey, listen, I'm on that list too. I am not judging. Let's see, what do we got? We've got today in the world of, today, and what I mean is, you know what I mean, days of the world. Today is National Mitten Tree Day.
Ah.
I don't even know what the hell a mitten tree is. On December 6th, Mitten Tree Day celebrates the gift of warmth. You collect mittens, hang them on a Christmas tree. You collect mittens, hang them on a Christmas tree, and then hand them out to those in need.
Okay.
And the reason I know that is because I do that every year. We have a mitten tree at home right now, Jason.
And you didn't know about Mitten Tree Day.
No, I just don't.
Okay.
You don't talk about Mitten Tree Day. That's the first
that's
rule
not.
of Mitten Tree. Today is National Gazpacho Day. This is weird because why would you have a gazpacho day in December? Gazpacho is a cold soup. There's many different kinds. I generally make 2 per summer. It's wonderful on a summer day. Are you or have you had gazpacho?
I think I have, but I can't recollect it. So
I use a V8 / chicken broth mixture, and then we dice very finely red cabbage, red onions, carrots, celery, some different veggies, zucchini, and then you put some avocado on the top with maybe a little lemon juice in there, and you just eat it as a meal.
Interesting.
It's
a lot of cabbage.
Today's National Microwave Oven Day. I say perhaps the most underrated invention, non-health related. Imagine a world without microwave ovens. You have to put everything in the oven to heat it.
Right.
Microwave oven. There you go. 1 minute. I'm dialed.
It's like the first thing you learn how to make when you're a kid. Like anything in the microwave. What can I put in there?
What can I put in there? Don't put eggs in there.
No?
Don't put metal in there.
No.
I'll tell you one thing I put in there yesterday. Just I got to put this recipe out there. You ever have Triscuit nachos?
No. What's the cheese?
You lay out some Triscuits on a plate. You cut up some cheese into squares. Could be anything. Yesterday I used pepper jack, cheddar, mozzarella. Put it in for about 20 seconds. Seriously.
So individual, or are you kind of blending them like nachos?
Individual. I lay them all out in rows, basically into a circle, and then you just grab a Triscuit with some cheese on it. Yum, yum, good.
Warm.
Today is National Miners Day. No. Talk about the people in the gold.
Oh,
mines. Yeah. And finally, a National Pawnbrokers Day. But I just don't see that much value in it. Jay, that just made me think I'm going to need your help at some point. We're going to have our very first FaceTime.
Me and you?
Yeah, because coming back from Riverside with all my mother-in-law stuff and my late father-in-law came a giant sealed box of my father-in-law's record collection.
Oh, boy.
I don't know anything about records.
Okay, well, you put them on a turntable.
Yeah, thank you.
You drop a needle.
I just want to know if they're worth anything so I can sell them.
Yes, they are.
Are records worth things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
When vinyl kind of got re-released and got really popular again, like original records, old school stuff, shot up.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, if you had a Michael Jackson Thriller in good condition.
If you have any, I mean, because it's such a common album, but if you have it in good condition, it's still going to sell for a decent price.
What's a decent price? I'm just curious.
You could probably, if you have it in like mint condition, sell it for over $100.
That's a decent price.
There's also a huge book of stamps. I don't know.
I hear stamp collectors will duel out money. Like stamp collecting, I know nothing about it. I just know like people that are into it are like into it.
I need one of them's road. What is it? Antique roadshows.
Mm-hmm.
Come to my house. Celebrity birthday.
Or you could host your own.
Yeah.
Ooh, KHK Antique Roadshow.
Yeah.
That blow up.
Huge podcast.
Yes.
Celebrity birthdays.
First, let me give you a movie, an iconic movie that came out. Let's see if you guys, how close to the year you can get this. Dumb and Dumber. Came out on this day. In what year?
1994.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there. I'm going to say 92.
It is 1994.
Oh, wow. You read
That's why I answered. No, I just know.
Oh.
There are some movies I just weirdly know when they came out.
I forgot to update, too. We've been having this running conversation because of Kirstie Alley's passing away.
Sounds bad.
We were talking about TV to movie stars, of actors that got a major start on TV. Big role, and then went on to movies. I think we're somewhere in there. We're Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks. Will Smith has entered the chat, by the way.
Robin Williams, John
Travolta. Does Leo DiCaprio count? I feel like
yes.
that's too small of a role.
No.
Okay.
Big enough show though.
Big enough show, but very small role on Growing Pains.
But he was a full-time actor in that last season there.
Okay. All right, back to you and celebrity birthdays.
Okay.
Yes.
Happy birthday on this December 6th to Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis Antetokounmpo turns 27 today.
Giannis is 26.
Giannis is 28 today.
I nailed it.
Past his
He's
prime.
that old?
No. Happy birthday to Judd Apatow.
Judd is 54.
Judd Apatow, best known for the one season Freaks and Geeks on NBC. Judd is 52.
Judd is 55 today.
You're a cheater.
Happy birthday to Johnny Manziel.
Gosh.
Johnny Manziel is 32.
Johnny Manziel's 31 going on 12.
Johnny Manziel is 30 today. Still has plenty of time left to make it in the NFL. Happy birthday to 49ers kicker Robbie Gould.
Robbie Gould is 39.
Robert is, you're probably right. I'll say 40.
40 was the right guess. Happy birthday to, he's connected to Sacramento and former manager, former baseball player, Larry Boa.
Larry Boa is
McClatchy's
76.
Larry Boa, right?
How old, Dave?
76.
All right.
80.
77.
Almost.
Almost. Happy birthday to Sabrina Ionescu.
She's 34.
33.
25. Do you guys know who
Killed
that is?
it. No.
WNBA star, close friend.
Oh,
Kobe
yeah.
Bryant.
Now I know.
Sorry. And last one, former pitcher, Kevin Apier. I believe he was in Oakland for
And
mainly a
Royals
Royal.
legend.
Royals legend Kevin Apier is 64.
Kevin Apier's 58.
He is 55 today.
Guys, have you seen these movies? Yes or no? The Santa Claus.
Yes.
Little Giants.
Yes.
Yes.
The Crow.
No.
No, really. Speed.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Natural Born Killers.
Yes.
The Mask.
Yes.
Ace Ventura.
Yes.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Yes.
Clerks.
No.
The Lion King.
Yes.
Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
Yes.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yes.
Forrest Gump.
Yes.
Yes.
All came out in 1994.
Wow. What a year.
Arguably 93, 94, the best years for movies ever.
Yeah, I mean, you have Dumb and Dumber and Pulp Fiction.
And Shawshank.
There you go.
For
And the
Jason,
Mask.
for Jay, for
Works.
Mark, for Sean. We love you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Go Kings. Bye-bye now.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician verified fixes,